Podcast League now. Starring the Casablanca Kid. He turns good taste into bad. Movie hero. He has a stutter, but he's smooth like butter. And Pez, with the ability to Pez.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 3 of Podcast League Now. Coming to you a little earlier today just because we're trying to accommodate all three of our schedules when we can all get together to film. So that's the fun of doing it with 3 people live. So, but
absolutely,
yeah. But I'll just go ahead and introduce the regular crew for the podcast. I'm of course movie hero Anderson. Then we have Chris Scott, the Casablanca Kid. How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. I need way too much coffee today. That's all right.
Yeah.
I'll get through today.
You can tell with me, I look real bright-eyed and bushy till I actually put some eye drops in, so I don't have like bloodshot red eyes. But I got my energy drink. I woke up 45 minutes ago, so yay! but Austin, how you doing? Austin Pez.
Well, I'm drinking too, but I'm drinking Ice House beer.
Oh,
and
God.
If you're wondering what
There
the
we go.
slogan is for Ice House, it's probably Ice House. Was there nothing else on sale? All right, just buy
Right.
Ice House.
Ice
Yeah.
House. How much do you hate yourself?
Yeah,
Ow.
well, I hate myself enough to buy a 12-pack of it on the discontinued rack for $4, which equates
Okay.
to 33 cents a can, and it tastes like 33 cents a can. So cheers to
Okay,
all of
there
my
you go.
fellow podcasters.
As long as you understand that, yeah, because that's like drinking like diet Shasta root beer. I remember like one time
Yeah.
I was hanging out with my friend Travis, and he brought over. We're doing yard work, and he brought over like a couple diet cans of Shasta root beer, and that stuff tastes like, oh, it's just horrible. Yeah,
It's like sadness.
When there's nothing else on special, you buy Shasta and Ice House. So cheers to all the people out there.
exactly.
Or it's like I'm not much of a drinker, but here it's like buying that like Rolling Rock stuff. I heard that stuff's super cheap too, so that's another.
Hey, that's the angry
Like,
video
like cheap
game nerd's
stuff.
favorite root beer. So don't you disrespect Rolling Rock.
No, I mean Rolling Rock beer with actually alcohol in it. yeah. But
Hey, wait, guys,
But yeah.
I got to stop you for a second. What are y'all wearing? What? Let me see your shirts. What's going on here?
the
What are y'all
podcast
wearing?
shirt on. No.
What the hell?
Yeah.
How did we all get these Podcast League Now shirts that are so beautiful and bright?
They're
How did
amazing.
that happen? Yeah.
Well, it's laundry day
There.
for me, so I didn't really have anything
Yeah,
else
and
to
nothing
wear.
else to wear, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of found some on the floor. It's kind of beautiful though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
with
what
the
a
cool
beautiful
mic on
shirt
it.
with the little microphone guy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a nice like navy
That
blue.
shirt's-
It's real nice.
It is really nice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think other people
Yep.
should be able to get one of these shirts. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that will lead into Jordan and I talking about how I got you guys these shirts, or should I say, didn't for a while get you guys these shirts. Let's talk for a minute about Spokane, Washington delivery services. All right, and how I'm not putting the blame on companies in general. I'm not putting the blame on UPS or FedEx as a whole. Because Chris Scott, I sent you your shirt and you got it just fine, right?
Yeah, I did.
No problem. In Eagle,
Yep.
Ohio. I got
Yeah.
mine delivered to me just fine.
Well, Idaho.
I go to send Jordan his shirt. I sent it a month ago. It just got to him a few days ago.
What?
Mainly because
Yeah.
it got
What?
sent back to me. And this isn't the first time something has been sent back to me all the way to North Carolina. So
Were you
yes,
writing
let's
out the
please
address
expand
of
on
the
that.
Cran?
Look, okay. I'll say this.
No.
The first
it's a long
time
running
it was
thing.
it was my fault. I put one number wrong on the address because I think there was a miscommunication between me and Jordan. Okay, so they delivered it to like a business down the street or something, right?
Yeah.
But again, instead of here's the thing about Spokane people. They figure that the best option when there's a miscommunication or confusion, instead of keeping it in the city where it's supposed to be the final destination, it's smarter to send it 2,418 miles back to North Carolina and figure it out from there. You idiots.
Well,
you know how much plain jet fuel you use sending me back this shirt and then me sending it all the way back across the country again? And then tell them, Jordan, what happened when I used a different carrier and it still got messed up.
Yeah, so basically they're incompetent pieces of trash, of shit, pardon my French, but they are. They have literally half a brain, all the delivery workers in Spokane. Because first of all, so this goes way back to when you first sent me all those movies for my birthday. There's a whole fiasco with that where got sent to the wrong business. Then it got sent clear back to North Carolina. Then you had to resend it, and they're still having issues getting it to me. So that was the whole thing. And then with the shirts, they did the same thing. And you think that even if you're just one number off, to at least but get it in the vicinity, like in the ballpark. No, they sent it like 35, 40 minutes clear across town, and they delivered it to a post office. So you sent it with UPS the first time, and why they delivered it to a post office that has nothing to do with the UPS whatsoever, I have no idea what was going through their mind. So I went into the UPS store to ask what was going on. They said, "Oh, we're sorry, that was a mistake from the delivery driver. We're going to have him go and pick it up from whatever address." They didn't even know that it was a post office at that point. They said, "We'll go pick it up, and then we'll have it delivered to you tomorrow." And I said, "Well, you better, because I'm going out of town in 2 days." So they said, "No, we'll get it to you." And then I waited the 2 days. It never showed up. So I'm like, "What's going on?" So I called them after waiting probably almost an hour on hold. They were like so confused. They had no idea what was going on. They finally realized that it went to the post office. They said it got some kind of bad like number on it, some kind of bad barcodes or whatever, and the bad UPC SKU number or whatever. And then so they wanted me to call some random number because they said that as soon as the post office received it, they're like, "Well, this doesn't belong here. We're going to return to sender." They wanted me to call some other random number to try to stop it, midway back across the country to see if they could reroute it. And it's like I didn't even want to risk that, because I'm like, what if I try to reroute it and then that screws it up even worse? So I'm like, it's just better.
Then it gets stuck in Illinois or something in some random processing center in the middle of the country or something. Yeah.
Right. So just we'll let it go back to Austin. We'll just send it through a different carrier. So he sends it through FedEx. And comes back through FedEx, a completely different carrier, and it was supposed to come on a certain day. I think I don't know,
Thursday or something or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I get a phone call from FedEx. So at least FedEx had the bright idea to actually call me. Am I still here?
Freeze for me. You're the one freezing, Chris.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, but anyways, so FedEx had the bright idea to actually call me, which I don't know why UPS didn't do it, but they said that it was sent to the wrong address. So they called me, and I confirmed with the lady on the phone. I read it off what my address was, and they're like, that's really weird. That's the exact address that we have here. So I don't know why they did that. Well, we'll have it to you tomorrow. And then finally, it actually did show up. But the crazy thing is, this doesn't just happen with the stuff from you, Austin. I get stuff sent to me from work because I work remotely, and so they have to send me different supplies. That happens all the time with my supplies. I'll go out to do a job, and then I'll get there, and then it'll say let me make sure, because one of the things that I'll do is I'll go into different retail stores and have to put these little coupon stickers on or things like that, or price tags, and so in my instructions it'll say now pull out all your price tags and put all the price tags on them. I didn't get any price tags. And then I call my supervisor. I'm like, what's going on? I don't have the stuff that's asking for. And they're like, oh yeah, that was supposed to get to you 2 days ago. like apparently there's some error in the delivery or something. I'm like, what the frick? Like, what is wrong? Like, my mattress isn't that hard to find. It's an apartment in the very first row.
Here's the thing with that UPS thing, by the way, going back to that, is let's not do a solution where here's the thing they could have done. They could have just sent it to a UPS store, had it sitting in a store, called you, and you could have even gone and picked it up from a UPS store, right, Jordan?
Right.
Because said, hey, it's at this location, and like you run around all day anyways for your job, like in your car. You could have just made a quick stop at a UPS store and like picked it up. At worst case scenario, you could have at least it's there in Spokane, it's in the city. No, let's send it 2,000 miles back across the country and let somebody deal with it. Like that's just stupid. And it's probably the same reason, Jordan. Stupid. You have it's just it must be this people of Spokane. While you talked about how you got lines at drive-throughs like 30 cars long at all hours of the day, you know, because like nobody knows what they're doing in Spokane. So it must be the people of Spokane, Jordan. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Something weird about the people here. Like I will definitely agree with that one. Because like they're kind of half. Like Spokane's kind of like a weird kind of like in the middle. So like you have Idaho that's like all Republican, and then you have Seattle that's like super liberal, and then you have Spokane that's like right in the middle. So they kind of don't know what they want, can't make up their minds, you know.
Well, and I'm not making any judgments here, but I used to see Spokane a lot on the show Cops. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, true.
Like every other episode has Spokane, Washington featured. So if you ever saw that, I don't know. In the 25
in the cop cars here. The cop cars here do look a little derpy. Like they look kind of weird because they're all green. They're like a weird kind of poop green color.
Yeah, right.
They're not even blue. They're not even like red, white, and blue. Like none of those colors. They're just like some weird shade of
puke
like
green.
Yeah, puke green for whatever reason. I don't know why, but anyways, yeah. It eventually got here, so I guess that's the important thing in the end.
Anyways, that's our rant of the day about Spokane.
So this is my rant of the day, okay? Since you guys have to rant, all right?
Yeah.
So during my job, okay, it's right now we're during a heat wave in Idaho, okay? Well, people decide to leave their carts out in the back of the damn parking lot. Like, clear out of the parking lot. We have plenty of cart corrals in our bloody parking lot. Doesn't take you that hard to put a cart in a cart corral. I mean, it's mind-blowing, okay?
What I do usually...
Yesterday, and I
park right next to it. I park right next to the cart corral when I go to a grocery store. And that way, like, when I put my stuff in my car, then I'm literally parked, like, 2 spaces away from it. So I don't even have to walk that far. See, if people would plan ahead and do what I do, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, there was a guy who went around doing controversial videos where he called himself the cart narc, and he would call people out when they weren't returning them to the cart corral. You should go look it up.
He should get a medal, basically. And also, okay, another little rant, okay. Newsflash, we're not hiding bags of ice in the back of the store in a wall, special wall space. We're literally out of ice. We were out of ice forever since the 4th, and then we've periodically had ice. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
And like at one point we were limiting water because like there was a fucking water shortage.
Dang.
And it's like it was getting ridiculous. Then you'd have like people just get ticked off about this. It's just like calm down, bro. I'm not trying to stop you from getting your 12 gallons of distilled water. For you.
That's what you guys are going through, but I'm in the mountains of North Carolina and it's 78 degrees outside right now. So
okay, well thanks for rubbing it in. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, right. It was a cool 63 this morning when I woke up and took my dog out.
I don't think of North Carolina as mountainy, by the way. I think of North Carolina as
you have to go
ocean and stuff.
No, that's east. See, there's western North Carolina and eastern North Carolina. I'm on western North Carolina, which is right at the base of the Appalachian Mountains. So it's like nice and mountainy.
Nice.
You know, so there's mountains all around.
Yeah, that whole
icing out of several Stephen King movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's not Derry. It's not Derry, Maine, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, right. Not that, but
yeah, that whole.
The whole ice thing kind of reminds me of when I used to work in the movie theater. This lady, she comes in, gets super pissed because we didn't have any. I think it was like, oh, sorry, my wife's leaving on a week long trip. She was just waving goodbye to me. Yeah, but yeah. So this lady,
bye, Shannon.
on a jet plane.
Yeah. But to this lady,
I'll be back again.
lady comes in and starts freaking out about the milk duds. She really wanted milk duds. She's like, "How are you supposed to run a successful movie theater if you ain't gonna have no freaking milk duds?" And she's like banging on the counter, going nuts, and like really toward into this girl who'd only been there like a couple of weeks or something. She's like pretty new, so like we'd always mess with her. We'd always go up to her and be like,
"Jordan, don't you know it's a physical impossibility?
Come on,
it's a physical impossibility to watch a movie without milk duds, Jordan. Don't you know that?
Right.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Right.
You have to
you can't do it.
You have to shut down the whole movie theater, Jordan. You ran out of milk duds. You got to shut down all the theaters, all the revenue for this, send everybody home.
Done. Go home.
You literally can't
just
even
go to Walmart, pick up like 5,000.
Go to the damn Dollar Tree. You got the boxes of milk duds for $1. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but
sneak it in like all of us moral people do.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'll be honest about the whole cart thing though. Like if there's not like one of those cart corrals within like 6 parking spaces of where I park, I just let the cart go. Like, I'll be honest. I'm like I'm not walking clear over there. I'm like, forget it. Like, yeah. But usually, if it's less than 6, then I'll
less than 6.
Put it
you
away.
Can go a little further.
6
I'll
is
at least
that magic number.
Put it up on a curb or something. I don't know. I'll find somewhere out of the way of the thing. No. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Yeah, I am, Chris.
No,
I do that all the time.
I know all the carts are not like joining together for their annual conference meeting. Okay, they're like, guys, we need to talk about how we're being talked about, and we need to talk about our rights as carts to rule the world.
Yeah. But yeah, I have some thoughts about carts. Like, I'll be the guy who, like, every time that I grab a cart, like, I hate having like a really bad cart with like the wonky wheel or the cart that goes like chunk or whatever. So Jordan,
I don't know if you're doing a Kenny Banya bit from Seinfeld right now, but that's literally like what he did on the show. When he's when George is like, I really like some of his bits. You know, he does the one about the cart that that always happens to me. You know, Kenny Banya's not good.
Well, the thing is, like, usually I'll like be the guy that'll test out 3 or 4 carts before I actually settle on the cart that I want to shop with. I got to make sure that that's good. And if I start moving a little bit, and I realize the cart's bad, like, I'll go back and I'll switch it out. I'll be like, nope, this cart's no good. I got to go back.
You just do what I do. You wear steel toe boots and you kick the shit out of that wheel and you put him in his place.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
guys, we officially need like a sounding board for this so we can be like,
I know, right? Yeah.
When you find the perfect card, or
we'll get around to a sound effects board once we figure out how to do that shit. But I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, right.
At least on the
it's on the to-do list that I want to get one of those little soundboards. So coming in like a few months, maybe. We'll see.
Coming in 2023. Stay tuned. The Podcast League now sound effects machine.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Quotes from movies
just
and sound
like
effects.
Perpetual fart machine going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, give me the right food. I'll make your own sound effects for you here on the podcast.
Right.
Whatever you
Give
like.
Some Taco Bell or something.
Anyways, we've ran enough. Let's get down to some serious business, Jordan. What do we got on the docket today? What are we talking about?
Well, the first thing that I kind of wanted to kick it off with, just talking about our like top favorite movie going experiences. You can list anywhere from like 1 to 3 if you got some. So I mean, even more like just list whatever you want. But because I probably have about 5 of them. Now that I look at my list, but
you guys list 1 or 2, and I'll list my 8.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, but I'll go last though. I don't know if you want to kick it off with Chris. I don't know if you got some of your favorite movie experiences, like your like theater experiences you want to share.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
what do you got?
Probably one of my earliest memories as a kid. So I was born in 1984, and I was going to the theaters and seeing the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes, that's mine.
I lived in Virginia.
Like one of mine.
Okay. So it was back when they were basically like postage stamp theaters, but you didn't know any better. Like it was, so they were still legit theaters as kids. But I believe it was in Centerville, Virginia. That sounds about right. They had like a multiplex theater, and we went in there and we're watching the movie. So before the movie started, they had a couple guys come in like dressed in full like ninja gear, and they had nunchucks and they had like bow staffs, and they were legitimately doing like tricks. They came in, they did like almost like stunt fight tricks. It was cool.
It would have been better if you said they came in and beat the shit out of everybody in the theater and stole their milk duds. That would have been a better story.
Yeah, right.
Just some random ninja clan showed up and beat all the little 6-year-olds up and stole their candy like on Halloween.
As a kid, I thought it was so damn cool. And come to find out, eventually, I heard on the news that somebody jacked one of the nunchucks and ran out of the theater.
Really?
Well, nunchucks are hard to come by these days, man. Well, at least legitimate ones.
But
for real.
I absolutely love that movie so much. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Jurassic Park is another one, and I actually don't know if that one came out. Probably actually came out before Ninja Turtles. I feel
no. Jurassic Park was 93. Ninja Turtles was 1990.
Okay.
I'm the human IMDb. If you need movie release dates, is my shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, probably my second one I really remember is Jurassic Park, and that one legitimately scared the hell out of me, especially when the kid picks up the night vision goggles and he like looks at the it scared the hell out of me. That movie still stands out to me today. Let's see what else. God, there's so many movies that I've seen over the years in theaters. I feel like you guys are much more organized on this. I mean, God,
I make notes, but like, so what? You know,
I gotta make notes.
That's what I do. My nickname on the show should be, on all the movie here. My nickname should be Austin Notes Howell because that's all I do.
Yeah. Well, and I had every intention to make notes. So like my name should be every intention to make notes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Well, you see what had happened was, you know.
So okay, one of them is I went and saw the movie Lion King with my cousin Josh and some of my younger cousins in Virginia, and actually we kind of got in trouble because we ended up throwing popcorn at the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of harmless, although unless it depends on how much oily fake butter they put on the popcorn, and then it could be a problem for the projection screen. But if it's very dry popcorn, I don't think that would be that much of a problem. But you know.
And seeing the movie It's a Wonderful Life on a we have an older theater here called the Egyptian Theater in Idaho. It's really, really awesome older theater. But during 2000, when we thought the world was basically going to end, they were showing movies, and one of them we got to see on the big screen there was It's a Wonderful Life, and that was an incredible experience. Yeah,
nice.
So those are several of my.
I have a similar Christmas one. I have a similar Christmas one, Chris, that you'll appreciate. There was in Jackson when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. There's a theater called Sunray Cinema. It's kind of one of those independent kind of art housey kind of theaters, and they continued a tradition from the previous owners where every Christmas they show the movie White Christmas, and they show it at every year on like Christmas Eve, and it sells out like almost instantly online when they do it, and everybody like in the crowd just adores it. They sing along with all the songs before they start. They bring in a piano and they play Christmas songs on the piano for everybody to like sing along before the movie starts, like a pre-show thing. And then then they sell like hot chocolate and peppermint ice cream and all kinds of crazy stuff for the actual show. So you'd really appreciate that, Chris, because
that's so cool too. So that reminds me at that same Egyptian theater, so they also have an old organ, okay? And they brought in an organ player. So there was a movie called Wings, and it was kind of like a almost black and white, kind of like a propaganda films for to kind of promote World War II and encourage it.
Didn't Wings win like Best Picture in like 1928 or something like that? Like way back in the day.
Well, so the coolest thing I have from that is I'm literally sitting front and center, okay? And it was a hand-drawn art, and everything else is amazing, which is something else we need to eventually talk about is the trajectory, how movie posters have changed over the years. But so I was sitting there front and center. An older gentleman was up front, like kind of in front of the screen, and people were talking to him, getting their picture taken with him. And I stepped up and I said, "Hey, I'm excited to see this movie. Obviously, you had something. You obviously had a hand in this movie. What did you do? He's like, oh, I worked on the original artwork. I'm the one that drew that poster originally. So
nice.
I was like, that is awesome. So they actually, I got a picture with him, and then they didn't have anything else to sign. But she's like, hey, give me your address and we'll send you something. Well, what they ended up doing is they sent me like a legit, like a smaller kind of a stand-up of Wings, and it was hand signed by him and personalized to me.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
They're going to say, like, wasn't Wings that horrible TV show with like Steven Weber?
No.
Steven Weber? No. No. Yeah, Chris went to the theater. Yeah. Chris went to the theater and they marathoned the first season of Wings, and it was a unique experience. And Steven Weber did a Q&A afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was a very unusual thing. There was only about 3 people in the theater. It was very awkward.
It was okay. We just sat there together.
We just kind of sat there and watched Wings. And really, they didn't even have to. They didn't have to put it on a print. They just turned on like WGN at like 3 in the afternoon, and we just watched a couple episodes.
And we ate a cake shaped like wings.
Yeah,
literally.
right. Exactly.
Cake shaped like wings.
Yep. But well, Austin, do you got some?
Yeah, sure. So. Well, I just remembered one a minute ago. I know lately, last couple of years, there's been kind of a trend to do these showings of movies where they have like a full orchestra doing the score, for the movies, like live.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of those, but I got to see one of those in a concert hall where they showed Back to the Future with an orchestra doing the score. And that's as a surprise treat, we showed up and Alan Silvestri was at the showing, and he did like kind of an intro and sort of not a Q&A, but like he kind of talked for about 10 minutes about doing the score. And I tried to go down and get a picture with him real quick at like an intermission that they did, and I just didn't get a chance to. But yeah, Silvestri was like a surprise guest. It was pretty cool. So that was awesome. No, good. Yeah.
Okay, that reminds me. All right, so I was and yes, I know this movie is garbage, okay? But at the same Egyptian theater, they showed The Last Airbender. Okay. Well, so I'm outside. A gentleman's walking up, and they're taking photographs of him. Well, Frank Marshall worked on the film, and he showed up for the premiere. While Frank Marshall's standing there and he's standing like a small table with his daughter, and no one's really approaching him. And I was talking to somebody else. I'm like, "Who is that?" Oh, that's Frank Marshall. And I'm like, oh my God, he did like arachnophobia, which legitimately is still the reason that I hate spiders today.
Jones,
and ridiculous number of movies. Well, I literally walked up to him with his daughter and I said, hey, Mr. Marshall, I'm a huge fan. I mean, you've done an amazing bunch of movies. Is there any way you'd please sign my ticket? And he was tickled by the fact that I wanted him to sign my ticket. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So it's like, I got to meet cinema greatness. Yeah, at the Egyptian theater.
Well, sometimes those behind-the-scenes guys, your producers, your guys who do the scores, things like that, are like way cooler because people don't recognize. They're not as recognizable as faces, as like actors or even some directors are, And a lot of times they're really cool.
Yeah, Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy actually had a little stint we lived in Boise for about 5 or 6 years, and so every time that they've had a new Born Identity movie out, Frank Marshall will always show up with Matt Damon to do a little kind of premiere there. So they always come back for that. That's always like a big thing in the news because we don't get a lot of like famous people in Idaho. So yeah,
right.
It's always fun. But anyways, you got some more?
Let's see. What else I got? Yeah. So no, it's all good. There's a theater locally here called like the Grindhouse Theater, and they do. Before everything kind of shut down last year for a little bit, they were doing a lot of these bad movie nights kind of things, and they showed The Room with all the fixings. So we had like the spoons, and we had people yelling at the screen. Yeah, like it was like a super fun, just silly showing of The Room. Back at the Sunray Cinema that I was talking about, they did a double feature one night that was awesome of Troll 2, and they tied it in with there was a documentary that's out called Best Worst Movie, and where one of the guys, the kid who was in the movie, like became a filmmaker, and he did a documentary about Troll 2 and kind of about the fandom surrounding it. So it was like a double feature where they showed Best Worst Movie and then they showed Troll 2. So that was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
And then just me and my buddy Dagan, the wrestler I talk about a lot. You know, when we were doing our Briggs and Howell film critiques a lot on Facebook, and unfortunately, you know, I don't live in Jacksonville anymore, so we don't do it as much. But we would just go almost every week to whatever was premiering at midnight that week or 10 o'clock or whatever it was, and we would just pick out one of the new releases, and we went like every week. So we saw everything for a while, and we had some fun ones. We saw a horrible movie called Creature that nobody remembers. And it's not remembered because it didn't even last the full week in theaters. It was pulled after the first 3 days because of its grosses. It opened in like 1,000 theaters and only made, I'm not even joking, I think it made $1,000. And so we might have been like $15 out of that $1,000 because we saw it on the opening night, on the Thursday night at this AMC theater. I swear they wouldn't have even showed the movie had we not bought a ticket. Like, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have shown it because we were the only ones in there. But like, we just had a blast because we were the only ones in the theater, just like laughing at it, just being silly and stupid. And we've had like a bunch of those because we would see those late movies. Sometimes we'd be the only ones in there. But those were always fun. And then I talk about the first time I saw Cloverfield at midnight just being one of the most bonkers movie experiences I've ever had. Just like freaking out, like just having a great time. Just like the surround sound was just amped up that night. It was all good. And of course, everybody talks about the first time they said Dark Knight. It was the same thing with me. We saw it at midnight, Thursday night. Dark Knight. Sold out crowd, amazing. They were showing it like on like almost all the screens that night. They had extended all the show times. They were showing it on like literally almost every screen out of the 20 screen theater that night to try to accommodate everybody. It was nuts. So stuff like that. Just a few of mine.
Nice. Yeah, the Dark Knight was the first time that I ever did D-box seats, so like the moving ones that kind of move and then like vibrate. Like those are fun. They're kind of a little bit of a gimmick, but it's fun.
It depends on what movie you're seeing. That'd be a really awkward movie if you're like, hey, come see the D-box of Glenn Ross.
Yeah, right.
That would be a little odd. Man, this is a really exciting board meeting. Man.
Yeah. Serious, but yeah. But for me, so like I have a couple of similar ones to Chris. So for anyone who might not know, I used to live in Idaho, kind of where I grew up, and just been in Washington the last few years. But I would do the same thing. I'd go catch It's a Wonderful Life down at the Egyptian Theater. Like maybe there might have been a time where we were both there and we didn't even realize that there might have been. Right. I did it like maybe 5 or 6 times. So I kind of made it a little tradition until I moved away. So that was always fun. But and then also I have a similar experience with the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I waited till Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2 came out, and they did a double feature of both movies. So I want to say that I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, and it was the first time my mom actually trusted to just drop me off at the theater, and then she went to go do some shopping, and then she came to pick me up afterwards. I
have a Ninja Turtles story also in the theater in a repertory screening. Remind me to come back to it after you're done, Jordan.
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, but like the crazy thing is, so she drops off at this theater, and I see both movies, and then I go in to use the bathroom afterwards, and I'm waiting for my mom to come pick me up. And this is literally like one of the first times I've ever been just dropped off somewhere, like as a kid. Yeah. I go into the bathroom, and there's a guy in there who literally like pulls out a handgun out of his pocket, and he's like, "Look, kid, look what I got here. I got a handgun." I'm like, "What the hell?" I remember my heart was like racing, like, "What's this guy doing?" Because like obviously, like I'm pretty sure that he had a concealed carry permit or like whatever, but he just wanted to show me to try to freak me out, and like I had no idea. Like I thought he was gonna shoot up the place. So like literally,
That's called brandishing, and that's a felony. Yeah. So had you told somebody, that's a felony. That's called brandishing. Yeah. That's a crime. You can't do that with a concealed carry permit, you dum-dum.
Yeah, so I told my parents eventually, but I got so scared that and my brother Aaron was with me. I forgot to mention he was with me. So it was the two of us. He was even younger. He was 2.5 years younger than me. So like I was kind of like the older brother supposed to be like protecting him. So we just went outside and found a little corner to kind of huddle in, and then we waited for my dad. We were like looking around the corner, making sure this guy wasn't coming out with this gun or whatever. We were like really freaked out, but yeah. So that happened, and then also too with Jurassic Park, and I may have mentioned this before on the podcast, but Jurassic Park, I remember seeing it when I lived in Draper, Utah, when I was super young, and I went and saw it at a small one-screen movie theater in this small little town that we were living at, and like literally like I love the movie so much that they went back and I saw it the next day. So I saw it 2 days in a row. It's the first time I'd ever done that with a movie, and my dad was the one that actually recommended it to me because he went to go see it. And he's like, I just saw the most incredible movie ever. Like, you got to go see this. And so I went and saw it once with my dad, and the next day I just like literally walked down to the movie theater because I lived within walking distance, and I just walked over and I just saw it myself. So yeah, so that was definitely fun. But I have a movie experience where I was with you, Chris, where we went and saw the movie Skyfall, and like I always remember this because like afterwards, like we both really loved it. But I remember you're just running through the theater. You're like, that was incredible. That's so incredible. And you're going up to like random people. Like, did you see that? Did you see Skyfall? It's incredible. Wasn't that so good? You're just going up to these random strangers. Like, I thought you were going to toss somebody or something. You're just like a little kid kind of running through the theater. It's so good.
Yeah. I do remember being mind blown by that movie, and it's like because we had seen the movie before that one, and the James Bond before that one was a pile of garbage. So like this one just like redeemed like everything that I wanted in a James Bond film.
What, you don't adore everything about Quantum of Solace? You don't adore that?
No. Let's just pretend like that shit doesn't exist. But but dude, we had a lot of amazing movie going experiences, man. I mean, like man, I'm excited. We got to see the new Fast and Furious movie together, man, of my buddy Travis. Because like probably I probably saw the majority of those movies with you, so that was even better for me.
Yeah. And then also there's another one you got to come with me too, because when I used to work at a movie theater, we did midnight screening. So when Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out, we had our big Christmas party. So I got to invite a couple friends. So Chris was one of them. So we had dinner catered for us, and then we did a little kind of white elephant gift exchange, and then we all got to see it probably about a week early. So
a week early. I couldn't say anything.
That's pretty cool.
That was so painful.
Yeah. So like, and literally like for The Force Awakens, like it had been I don't know how many years since the last Star Wars, maybe like 20 years, something like that. So like it was a big deal that we got to see it.
It actually wasn't as long as people realized because Force Awakens was like what was it, 2016 or 2017, right? So it was. I mean, and really, Revenge of the Sith was 2005, so it only been like 12 years, really. It hadn't been as long as people thought it was. And then, and here's the thing. Do you remember what they were doing before Disney bought it? Is that this reminded me of an experience I did. They were starting to re-release the movies in 3D. As like re-releases. So I remember me and my buddy Dagan, we went and saw The Phantom Menace in 3D, and this was like a year before they announced the Disney thing. And they were going to do that with all the prequels and then with all the original movies. But then a year later, like Disney bought Star Wars and like scrapped all that and then announced the new movie. So like it just didn't happen. But it was one of the strangest things. And I saw there was a guy in front of us at that screening that was like way more excited about that movie than anybody else watching it. I mean, like they get to the Darth Maul scene where they're about to have the 2-on-1 fight, and he's just like, like he was like freaking out in the theater. I'm like, bro, you do realize you can own this movie. Right. But you reminded me of two quick ones, Jordan. I have a Ninja Turtle story too, but I don't know if I saw it originally because I was only 4 years old. So I maybe saw it and maybe didn't. I don't know. I was only 4. But going back to Sunray Cinema, another reason I missed this place in Jacksonville, they did a Ninja Turtle showing with a pizza party kind of a screening where they had 2 of the local pizzerias, like in that area, it was an area called 5 Points, had a competition during the movie. So what they did was throughout the movie, they would serve everyone a slice of like pepperoni from the one place and a slice from the other place, and then like a slice of Supreme from the one place and a slice of Supreme from the other place. So everybody got like 4 pieces of pizza, and they had half the theater was doing the pizza party, and the other half had just bought tickets just to like watch the movie, right? So it was like a Ninja Turtles pizza party screening, and then they did a sequel where they showed Secret of the Ooze the next year, and they never, for whatever reason, got around to the third one. Not really sure why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah,
but
awesome.
They didn't do it to the third one for the samurai one, no. But and then your Jurassic Park thing reminded me actually when Jurassic Park 3 came out. I kind of lived close to a Cinemark theater, and I didn't have a car at the time, but it was close enough to ride a bike, so I just made a day out of it, where like I rode my bike up to the theater, like locked it up, went and saw the first showing of the day at like whatever it was, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning, and then like went to Chick-fil-A for lunch and then rode back. So like it was a whole day where, I loved going to the opening shows of opening day. That was always fun. Because sometimes they weren't that crowded, and like you could just go in there and chill. Or like I said, we loved going to the Thursday night stuff, and I still miss going to the Thursday night stuff at like 10 o'clock or midnight or whatever, and going to see those.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Like probably I don't know how it's gonna work. It's coming out during Christmas time, but since I'm such a huge Spider-Man fan, I wanted to try to go to like an opening at night for the new Spider-Man movie that's coming up. But it's on Christmas, so that might be kind of a little different. I don't know how they're really going to do it.
And the new James Bond movie, isn't that finally coming out in October?
I think it might be. I'm not totally sure.
But Amazon bought MGM recently, so I'm wondering if they're going to put it either in theaters or just put it on Amazon Prime. It's you never know, because Amazon Studios
just on Amazon Prime. Oh,
I'm just saying, I don't know, but it's kind of up in the air right now because Amazon Studios just bought MGM Studios, who owns James Bond. I didn't know that. James Bond is still.
We'll see.
James Bond is still up in the air. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll still go to theaters, but I'm just saying it may not be long before it shows up on Prime after that. And maybe
hopefully
pretty quick.
Hopefully, they don't make the same mistake that HBO does, and like not even inform the movie studio to just say we're going to release this all on our streaming service, and all the theaters are like, "What? No, you're not," kind of thing,
Right.
So we're like, "Yes, we are. We're going to do whatever we want." So yeah, but yeah, just a couple other quick ones though for my movie theater experiences. So I want to mention one just because I have my friend April here in the chat watching. I got a movie experience with her where we actually went on a date once, the movie theater that I used to work at, it's called the Village Cinema. So they have a VIP area. So they have a restaurant upstairs, and they have balconies that overlook the theater. So you can go and sit up there. You can order alcohol. You can order dinner. They'll have a little waiter that'll come in and wait on you. So I remember that when I used to work there, I was really good friends with the second manager there. Like there's a long history of like all the managers there. The first manager ended up sleeping with one of the employees who was underage, so he got fired and arrested. So that was a whole crazy story. Then the second one was Chase. He was awesome. I'm still friends with him to this day. He runs a movie theater down in Twin Falls. He's the owner / manager of the Magic Valley Cinemas down there. But and then also then the third one just wanted to come down and like lay the hammer down on like everyone, like a no nonsense kind of guy, and was always screaming at people and all that. But the second one, when I was friends with my buddy Chase, we so we went on this date, and we're gonna go out to eat, and we're a little late getting to where we wanted to get food, so we went to go and buy our tickets first. When Chase came out, and it was a pretty slow night, and so he was asking what our plans were. We're like, well, we're gonna go get some dinner, but we don't know if we're gonna have enough time. So like probably we'll just skip that, and we'll see the movie. But then we're like, well, there's nobody else sitting in the VIP section. You're gonna be the only ones there. Maybe the only ones in the whole entire theater. Just come get your dinner to go, and you can just bring your food in. You can bring it upstairs and just have dinner upstairs. Even though they serve dinner up there, like we kind of like already had a place we wanted to get food and all that. So like he was cool enough to just let us bring our food up. We sat in the VIP section. We had the whole theater to ourselves. So it's always kind of fun when you get the theater to yourself sometimes, it's kind of like a fun little experience to just do that, because it doesn't matter if you talk a little bit, because you're only two in there, So yeah, so
well, during the pandemic, I saw Tenet in a completely empty 300-seat theater. So I literally was able to completely pay attention. I had no distractions whatsoever, and I still didn't understand what the hell that movie was about.
Yeah, right.
But it was interesting that it was like a little small mom and pop theater. But yeah,
I didn't understand that movie, but I saw it on HBO Go Max, I think, and I loved that movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was definitely a movie that really surprised me, because everyone was like, either they were like really divided. They're like, either it's a great movie or it's horrible.
I don't know if it was great or horrible, because I don't understand what I saw.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
Same. Yeah, like
seriously.
But the jury's still out for me too. Like
it's out. I don't know if I like that movie or not. I really don't know.
Yeah, but I have one last movie experience I wanted to share because I have some pictures to go along with it. But so me and my buddy Mark went to go see Zoolander 2 when it came out, and the first Zoolander movie is a movie that like we grew up with. We probably watched it about 20 times together. Just me and him. We like had the whole movie memorized. We just like love the first Zoolander so much. So we were pretty hyped when they announced they were going to finally do a sequel, even though it ended up being kind of trash garbage. But we wanted to make a whole entire night of it, so we decided we were going to dress up. So we're going to show up for the opening night premiere and on a Thursday night. And so I actually went. I got my hair dyed black. I went and rented a suit that had zebra print on it, and then like a bunch of like sparkly things on it. So there's a few pictures here. So this is me getting my hair dyed at an actual professional salon. So I got these pictures of me like posing, getting my hair dyed black. So, and then that's afterwards. So like that's the first time with my actual black hair. Then I went and got the suit, so you can kind of see the progression of like me with my suit. I got the zebra print tie and all that stuff. And then my buddy Mark joined me. He wasn't bold enough to actually get his hair dyed. He wore a wig, but he made it work. So yeah, that's him with the little scooter. He brought a scooter and everything. Yeah, and then we're like walking around quoting lines from the movie. Like I'd be like, that Hansel, like he's so hot right now, guys, right? And stuff. Yeah, and so yeah, we just had a good time.
Dude, that is a legit suit, man.
Yeah, so like that was super fun. So been a great time, even though the movie was.
And then unfortunately, you had to take it to the dry cleaners because you puked all over it based on how bad that movie was, right?
Sure, so it made me sick. But yeah, that's basically all of my movie going experience that they're like super memorable that I can think of. So yeah. But so yeah, I just kind of wanted to just jump into another topic. So usually like to do like a pretty all this stuff's kind of getting to know us, but I like to kind of do like one little thing that kind of dives a little deeper into that. So kind of wanted to just go around and just talk about all the places that we've lived, and maybe a little bit about our heritage, like what our ancestor is, like where like what like countries that our ancestors come from, things like that. So so started with Chris last time. We can start with Austin. If you want to tell us a little bit.
I've only ever really lived in two places because I was born in San Antonio, Texas, but I only lived there for like a year and a half before my family moved to Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm pretty much, when I say where I'm from, I'm pretty much from Jacksonville, Florida, because I lived there for 30 years until I was, like 31 or so. And then I've lived here and then Hendersonville, North Carolina for the last 4 years or so in Western North Carolina, not coastline, Chris, more than the mountains of Western North Carolina. But as far as the heritage thing goes, I don't fucking know. I think my dad did the genealogy thing, but it was probably so boring he didn't even bother like sharing the results with us because I think it was just vaguely Western European. I don't know. Special, probably from like England or something. I don't know. Yeah. It's nothing that stands out. I'll tell you that.
Well, if you ever care to find out, you'll have to like spit in the
I'll
bag
let you
and
know.
send it to 23andMe or whatever.
Yeah, right. For $100? Nah, I'll just kind of guess.
Yeah, right. Well, well, for me,
I guess I'm
Stop
62% English. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
But yeah, for
I'm
me,
not,
like my
I'm
family.
not black.
Yeah,
I know
right.
that for damn sure.
Obviously.
Obviously, look at me. I might be Irish.
You never
I don't
know, though. You're
Pale.
surprised.
I
Maybe
only
way back
burn.
when you got like
I
2%
don't tan.
African American. You never know.
I think everybody does, but who knows? Whatever. Look at me. I don't know. I'm probably Western European. Look at me.
Yep.
Most likely.
But yeah, my family was huge on doing a lot of genealogy, just because it's a big thing within our church too. Like we kind of like encourage people to find out their heritage, where their ancestors come from. So especially on my dad's side, they've gone back like forever, like way back when. So my family on my dad's side all comes from Iceland. So my great greats, like two greats is, I think, or actually it might be three. So they're 2 or 3 is 100% Iceland. So they come from Iceland, and so like we're like white as white can be, pretty much like Iceland, and we have a little bit of some Denmark in us too. But my grandparents, just like my just regular grandparents, actually served the mission for our church over in Iceland. So they spent a couple of years over there, and they actually met a lot of our long lost relatives over there, people that we're actually related to. So that was pretty cool. And so like one day I really want to go to Iceland, because that's like a huge thing from my dad's side of the family. But on my mom's side, like we're not as sure. Like we have a little Irish in us, a little bit of Danish, I think some German too. But that's about as far as I know. But I'll have to talk to my grandpa on my dad's side, because he does a lot of genealogy too. So he probably knows. I just haven't really sat down and talked to him about it. But and then I have lived. So I was born in Provo, Utah. So I always like to say, because like Provo, Utah, since I'm Mormon, and that's where BYU is. So like anyone who's the first child from their parents, and they were born in Provo, Utah, we always say they come from the factory, because it's like all the Mormon people just like pumping out kids down there when they're going to the Mormon school. So I come from the factory. That's kind of like a little like
pumping out like 5 kids at a time down in Provo, Utah. Is that what they're doing?
Yep. Basically, yeah. And so that
explains why you have like 4 siblings or something. You're like one of 5 or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but why my dad has 12 brothers and sisters. Yeah, that explains that
Jesus.
one too. So yeah, but
listen, there's a reason why it's only me and my sister. My mom had 4 siblings, and then her mom always said, "Jenny, don't ever have more kids than you have adults in the house."
Yeah, right.
Just from experience.
Well, the crazy thing is with my dad. So my dad had 12 brothers and sisters, and I want to say something like 6 miscarriages. So if you think about it, how many kids they could have had?
18.
Crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they said that my grandma, she had all the kids at the same exact hospital. So she set a record for the hospital of having the most kids in one hospital. It's crazy.
So you could have been like Jordan Duggar Anderson, like that Duggar family that has like 20 kids.
Yeah, right.
You could have had you could have been part of a reality show, Jordan. You wouldn't even be doing this podcast right now.
Right, like it could have been a whole different experience, a whole different childhood. But yeah. So I lived there, and then I lived in a few different places in Utah. So we lived in Sandy, Utah. Also, we lived in Draper, Utah, and in a really cool house, which I'll get into probably on another episode. We lived in this cool house with like all these trap doors, and like one of those really creepy root cellars and stuff. It's kind of like a historical site. Actually, our name's on a plaque in front of that house. But then we moved to Idaho, and I lived in 2 different places in Eagle, Idaho, the same place Chris lives, and then I moved to Seattle, and then Spokane. So, well, actually, technically, Puyallup it's a town just outside of Seattle, about 30 minutes outside of Seattle. But yeah, and then moved to Spokane. So that's pretty much where I've lived. A little bit about my heritage. But what about you, Chris?
So a little bit about my heritage. my mom and dad, we did do the genealogy. I think it was like 50 or whatever. But when we all, and I always heard like you're part Irish, part Scottish. Of course, the last name's Scott, so it kind of gives a little bit away, you know. But we did do the genealogy, and it was really cool. Like to be able to see like what areas they're from. It's pretty awesome how like in depth it is. And my mom has done more genealogy over the years, so like we're linked back to like for instance, I know one of my ancestors fought in the Civil War, so like I am I could actually get a copy of like his diary he wrote or that he kept, his journal.
My first maiden, the fires of war come through my heart and soul. I long for your touch back on the ranch.
Yep.
So I love Civil War history, so I think that's really flipping cool. Yeah. So I lived in Fairfax, Virginia, and I think before that, I know we lived in a townhouse when I was younger. I'm not sure exactly where in Virginia, but we probably lived there. I don't know. And then we lived. I said Fairfax, but we lived in Clifton, Virginia. Probably one of the coolest things about Clifton, like there was a lot of really neat old historical homes. One of the homes was actually forted by George Washington and his troops, which was really cool. And then we had a whole swath of woods behind our house, where like we'd find Civil War bullets. We once found, there were like the remains of fire pits and stuff where Civil War soldiers did camp out there, or they didn't camp. So it was a lot of really neat history there. Of course, I used to go to Washington, D.C. all the time. So the Smithsonian museums, all the neat Civil War battlefields, like that stuff was just interesting to me. And of course, going to Williamsburg as a kid was awesome. And so years later in 91, we moved to Idaho. My dad previously had been military, so we can kind of see what potentially down the road, Washington, D.C. could be a hotspot, obviously, if we were ever attacked, So he wanted to get us out of there. And also the crime. I remember as a kid, turning on the news and just being like there was all kinds of shootings and stabbings and all kinds of other bad crap. And it's like just got to the point where as a kid, like I didn't want to watch the news. Like, because it felt like, so I lived in Fairfax and like the crime was like not that far away from me. You know?
Well, like a little side note, my uncle used to go to Washington, D.C. quite a bit because he really likes that area and all the museums and all that stuff. But we have some kind of scary stories from riding the metro. Like subway, like doing it in the middle of the night and just seeing like all the crazy people that look like they're like cracked out or like they're like part of some gang or just some crazy looking like kind of sketchy people. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember riding the metro as a kid too, taking it back and forth, and there were definitely a couple very sketch moments. But it was a fun time. I mean, it was a great place to grow up. It was a great place to. I mean, it was fun. We had all kinds of awesome woods to play in. I remember in the pond or in the creek we would find like crawfish. I never ate them or anything. I didn't know what that was all about, but I do remember.
You're supposed to eat them raw when you find it. That's like a law.
Yeah, right.
Bite their heads off.
I was never that creative. Okay, I didn't grow up in the South where you cook crawfish. Okay, or something. But I do remember having beer battered shrimp. That stuff's amazing. Yeah. And moved here in 91. We originally lived in Boise for I don't know, like a while, and then my family built a house here in Eagle, Idaho, and moved here. And been here ever since. I love Idaho, and you couldn't pay me to live anywhere else. The thing I love about Idaho is that we're so close. Like if I wanted to go to Seattle, if I wanted to go to Portland, I go to Portland. If I wanted to go to Cali, I can go to Cali. But it's so close to a lot of places. But so I actually, kind of a side note to that, Austin. When I was a kid, I was lucky to take a lot of road trips with my family. So one of the places we used to go to, a lot of places, is out to the coast in North Carolina. We used to go to Ocean City as well in Virginia. So a lot of awesome memories.
Well, and I've been to Williamsburg a couple of times. We used to go camping a lot, so we would camp in Williamsburg and go see the all the battlefields. We went to Busch Gardens there, all that kind of stuff. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Jordan, I just found out a shocking fact about Provo, Utah. It's 89% Mormon. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, one of the
No, I
things
mean, I was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like you didn't know that? It's like ground zero for Mormons, pretty much.
And it said 0.2% Catholic, 0.5% Protestant, and 9% none. So
Yeah,
that's all the
right.
ex-Mormons.
No, literally.
But the Wikipedia does says Donnie and Marie call it their whole hometown. Donnie and Marie Osmond.
Osmond.
That's
There you
cool.
go.
I didn't know Donnie and Marie Osmond lived there. What?
Yeah. But well, like literally, so like recently, like this is probably maybe like 10, 15 years ago, but they literally had to build this giant. So like we're kind of like the little hubs for all of our like church buildings. So you have church buildings, like then you have stake centers. So like a stake center kind of is like maybe once a year, everyone will meet at a stake center, and it's just a way to kind of hear from some of the like higher up people and
and
the church.
Delicious meat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like you're not eating actual steak.
Steak.
Oh, okay.
Steak.
That'd be kind of fun. Be
We have
expensive.
a ward which is like a normal congregation based on like where you live. They have it mapped out by boundaries, but then you have a stake that's like all the different wards in an area. So they build a stake center in Provo, Utah, that's like 6 stories tall, and like every single level has its own chapel there. So like different congregations meet there. Like it's crazy because there's so many Mormons there. They had to. They didn't have enough places for them to meet. It's kind of crazy.
No,
So,
Jordan, I was being sarcastic about the home of Brigham Young University. Yes.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, I'm well aware. I just wanted to see I was scrolling through the Wikipedia while you were talking about it, and like the percentages would just made me laugh because it was like 89, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and then 9% none, which I guarantee is all the ex-Mormons that still live there that just can't move.
Yeah. Well, like one of the funny things is, so like years ago, I went to one of my cousins went to go see him get baptized at an LDS church in Provo, and then afterwards they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a little reception afterwards. We just think, oh, we're gonna do it in the same building where we're at, make it easy because they want to like do a little kind of like a get together for everyone that came to his baptism. But then we started asking them and went, like, no, we're gonna do it in this other church building. So just follow us. And like everyone starts getting in their cars and they're like, what are you doing? Like there's literally like a Mormon church on every corner. Just walk. Like we're like, oh, you're not getting your car to go to the next church. And we're like no, it's like literally like 2 blocks that way. And then we're like, okay. So it just shows you how many like Mormon churches are in that town. Like it's crazy. So yeah,
your Mormon churches in Provo, Utah, are what Starbucks are to New York City. There's one every 2 blocks.
yeah, or in Seattle too. Like Seattle's got Starbucks.
Seattle, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's a little bit about our heritage, where we grew up, all that fun stuff. But I want to kind of jump into some stories from high school. So like just kind of talk about like what your thoughts about high school were, like if you liked it, like if you had a good time, or if you hated it, or like how your experience was. So we started with Austin last time. Maybe we'll start with Chris. And if you have any funny stories or any cool stories or like things that you really liked about it, you can tell us, or some things that you hated about it. You can go either way.
So
What do you think?
I got to kind of, I was trying to think of this like high school hijinks, like cool things that kind of
Yeah.
So I was always kind of a nerd. Okay, when nerd wasn't cool. Like I like to read, I like to write, I was that guy. Okay,
Chris, it's because we were like 10 years too soon before being a nerd was like cool.
Yes,
I know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. There's that joke in 21 Jump Street where Jonah Hill makes the same remark. He's like, God, I was like 10 years too soon in high school. If I had shown up here with all this stuff I'm interested in, I would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had all these superhero shirts I wanted to wear, but I was afraid I was gonna get like bullied or like beat up or something, or like
Star Wars and Marvel and anime and whatever the hell you're into. Like it's all fine now, but like back then
I
it
wore all
wasn't.
that stuff, man.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was that person, you know. I didn't have you know, I mean, towards the end of my high school year was fine when I learned to stand up for myself. But I was a kid that got targeted and picked on, you know. I remember my first time realizing I had to stand up for myself. You know, I remember we were in track and there were a group of these kids that would bully me and give me shit. And I remember we're literally running in PE class. And I remember and this is when I finally was like, okay, I've had enough. This is it.
Yeah.
I'm ending this. I don't care how this ends. But, you know, I remember one guy that would just like call me names and all kinds of crap. Well, we're literally running beside one another in PE, and I literally jumped and like wrapped my arms around him and tackled him like right there. And just started like punching him. And it's like that's when kind of because I learned that I had to, you know, if I wanted to be myself, I had to stand up for myself.
That's like when Ralphie gets fed up with it in A Christmas Story, and he just snaps and like tackles the dude and just starts grounding, pounding him like the whole time. When he gets sick of it, and you're just like, you got to throw it out, man.
Right. And I remember like, and there were several times like throughout high school, like there were people that would like. I remember another time there was this kid that he was like, hey, I really like this girl. Can you ask her out for me? And I think this is maybe junior high school or whatever, so in between kind of. But I was like, okay, sure, I'll go ahead and do it for you, man. Well, I went ahead and asked him out, and then he like belittled me or made fun of me. So I was like, seriously? So I remember like having to like hit him. So like that. I mean, I wasn't.
And
all
then you jump
negative.
ahead. There's a 10-year gap in these stories for when Chris went to jail for a little while.
I never went to jail. There was none of that crap.
It's like we don't talk about those couple of years. We just jump ahead.
No, I never went to jail or any of that crap. I just had to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
He takes his podcast shirt off. He's got gang tattoos on his back.
No.
But that's why it irks me when, and to get real here, but that's why it irks me when people are like, well, we should just like talk out our feelings. I'm not talking about like going out into a gang, a big old like brawl, but kids should not be afraid to stand up for themselves. You know, they're being bullied. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, but other than that, I mean, I had a great time through high school. This is a weird segue. You know, I had a lot of friends who were absolutely awesome that I'm still friends with today from high school. You know, I had a lot of amazing teachers in high school as well. Like Dempsey, my awesome English teacher.
Dempsey's
I
awesome.
had an amazing English teacher for, I think, senior year of history.
Mrs. Burden, right? Or no, Mrs. Chumley, right?
No, not Miss Chumley. Nope.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, 'cause she's awesome.
I see him all the time. And actually, this guy is awesome. He actually made me, because we were studying like the 60s and stuff like that. So he went so far as to make me like a mix CD of like all kinds of these cool like war protest songs and other kind of cool stuff.
Was it Mr. Growl? Is that who it was?
Yeah. No, it was not Growl.
I was gonna say.
Nope.
Growl?
He was another awesome teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and I had Mrs. Call, English. Yeah, so I had several awesome teachers.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a great time, for sure.
Yeah. Nice, right on. Yeah, I've got some crazy stories, but we'll cut over to Austin though. Like, what are your thoughts on the high school? You got any kind of crazy stories or?
High school was strange for me because I was both a nerd and a jock, and I'm not exaggerating in that at the same time I was on the wrestling team, I was in the chess club at the exact same time. So like I was friends, so I never really got picked on or anything because I was friends with like the jock group because I was on the wrestling team, but I was also friends with like all the nerdy kids because I was a nerd, like, you know, and different things. So, you know, and nobody really picked on me because I would help the jocks with like their schoolwork if they were struggling, you know, like help them get the grades they needed to keep going in their sports stuff. But I was smart enough to kind of do my own work and still have a good like GPA. But yeah, I mean, I didn't do like a whole lot of pranks or hijinks necessarily, but I do remember there was a crazy incident where we used to have the security guard, and I don't remember his name, but he was this like older guy, probably like 60 years old, like really tall, kind of half balding, glasses, like, and he was an asshole. Like he was just an asshole to everybody. everybody. Like we used to have to wear these lanyards with like our school ID on them, right? And like if you had it anywhere out of place or like not completely around your neck or whatever, or just if you were just walking funny, he would scold you. And he wasn't even like a school resource officer. So he wasn't even like a cop. He was just like this random security guy. Like, you know how like some schools have like a school resource officer, but they're like a cop, right?
What about the lanyards?
No, he was just like a security guard, and he would go around in this golf cart all over the place. And he had a golf cart, and like if we were able to go off campus for lunch sometimes when you were a senior, you know, a car, and you know for an hour of lunch or whatever. And like if we were leaving 2 minutes earlier than the bell because we had gym the period before or whatever, like you'd be like, "Where are you going? Stop right there. You gotta wait for the bell."
Yeah.
No. Like, shut up, dude. Like, we're just leaving. We'll be back. Like, we're not leaving school.
Like, get out of here. Yeah.
This guy was just like nobody liked him. He was a dick. So we get to school one day, and out by the portables, you know, every school has like the portable trailer, class or whatever. So out by the portables, his golf cart is upside down, completely crushed, with like all the poles bent up, all the tires were slashed. It was spray painted, like everything was destroyed, like 100%. So somebody in the middle of the night had like gone to the school and wrecked this dude's golf cart. Just whatever he did to whoever did it. And here's the thing: they went on the announcements, all the teachers trying to get people to snitch on like whoever did it, and no one did. Not a single person.
Wow, that just says how much nobody liked this guy.
That says how much nobody gave a shit about this guy, because they were offering like reward money. They were offering like all kinds of stuff. Like no one snitched on whoever did it. We had vague ideas, like there were murmurs about like who did it, like about the thing, but nobody said anything. Everyone kept their mouth shut. And when that happens, people really don't like your ass. Like you are.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when no one will snitch on you, even the most desperate kid is like, no, F that guy, he sucks. You know?
Yep.
So I do remember something, okay? We did have a horrible vice principal at Eagle High. She was just a rule, like, she was just controlling the world.
Forget that.
I
forget her name.
So, okay. So actually, I do have a couple hijinks, okay? One of the things So one Halloween, I had a bunch of Halloween candy, okay? So, and I was like, so I can bring it to school, and I decided to start selling it, okay? So I was legit selling my Halloween candy, and people were legit interested in, okay? We also had a food, like a food court, where we can go get like snacks and stuff, like one of those things. Well, I got in trouble because I started like my mom and dad would give me like bags of blow pops and bags of like caramel apple pops, and I would have these in my backpack, and I would start selling them out of my backpack, and I like got the point where I was selling like a single blow pop for like $4 at a time. And I remember one time, dude, but I had like I still remember this one time, like I had a group of people, like they were ready to buy, okay? And I had some kid come up to me, he's like, well, that's just bullshit. I can get like a caramel apple pop, like outside the store. And I'm like, well, you can, but they're also ready to buy.
Yeah, they're
so
right here, like how convenient, right? I have them right here for you.
So I was legit, like, I feel like this money quickly went to like Mountain Dew and like pizza, you know, because I feel like now that I think about it, I probably got a lot of pizza, like because we had like Domino's there or whatever. You can get like so much for a slice of pizza or whatever, because the cafeteria food was horrible.
Yeah,
as a kid, like it was not good.
Usually is,
So I remember like that, and I remember the one time when I had enough people that finally that same vice principal cornered me, and they're like, hey, you know, it's against the rules, you know, you can't be selling this candy. And they even brought me into the office, and I was like, I went through like the rule book. I went through the rule book. Yes. So I went through the rule book, and I was like, in this, it doesn't say there's anything against like selling candy at school. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not selling like booze. I'm not doing anything like illegal, and there's nothing in this handbook that says like it's legitimately against the rules. And they're like, okay, yeah, you have a case. Okay, you have a point. So they let me go.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
You got to get them on the semantics, Chris. That's where you always get people.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things, real quick, and it's funny. It's like I remember another time. Me and a buddy. He would always wear a hat, but they were like totally against hats at Eagle High School.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't wear a hat inside the building.
Right.
Well, I remember I had a
Okay.
hat in my backpack, and so like anytime we were going like outside, because we have like a food stand, you can get legit like French fries. You can get legit like funnel cake. You could get
We had a Carney
legit.
Shack. We would call
Yeah,
it the Carney
Carney Shack.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep, exactly.
And they
Yep.
had like legit chicken strips, like burgers, like bomb food. And I remember like
I actually worked for that place for a little
anytime
bit.
we'd be heading out there, I like threw my hat on, and I'm just like a silent protest, you know. But I remember one time she comes around the corner, she's like, "You can't wear your hat." And I'm like, "I'm going outside."
Yeah, right.
So I literally just like put it on and walked outside.
You all said you can't wear hats in the building. I'm not in the building right now.
I'm not in the building right now.
Yeah, right.
No, that's such a kid thing of just like I'm not in the circle right now. I'm close to the circle, but I'm not in the circle.
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
close to
right.
it. I'm not in it. That's such like
Yeah.
a child thing.
I forget the name of that. I forget the name of that vice principal, but it's one with the short hair, right? Is that the one?
Yes.
Well, just let's leave
Yeah.
the name. Let's leave the names out of it. Just say principal
matter.
short hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. We'll say that.
Yeah, because I don't want to. Even if I remember the name of the security guy, I wouldn't say his name. But
I
just
wouldn't
the
either.
asshole security guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't have a whole lot other than that. We had a courtroom in our like a little mini courtroom in our school because they had like kind of a law
Really?
program, and I was big on that. And so
wow.
we ended up
Cool.
doing a couple of these like mock trial type of things. Like they had the whole thing. They had a jury bench. They had a thing for the judge to
What?
sit on,
Dang.
and like everything, and like a witness
That's
box, all this
neat.
stuff. It was like a legit like courtroom. So we did one thing where we were doing like a mock trial, and I was the judge. So that was pretty awesome. Like we did the whole
That's
thing.
awesome.
Everybody had basically they gave everybody who was playing a part in it this big stack of like the story of the trial or what all the information you would need. But like I had to write out my own like opening statements and my own closing statements for the jury and stuff. Like I had to write all this stuff out, all these like things that a real judge would say and do. And like if somebody had objections, I had to rule on the objections, like all kinds of stuff. Like it was pretty nuts. But we did
But the
that,
most
and then we
important
actually
question
had
is did you get to wear a robe for it? Like you
Yeah,
didn't wear
I
a
did.
robe, right?
a whole
Nice.
black robe, everything. I had the
That's
robe
cool.
and a gavel. I had a real gavel,
Gavel,
like
nice.
and like they got out of
To make it
control one
legit.
time, and I literally did the whole like order, councils approach the bench, that
Nice.
sort of thing.
That's
the
awesome.
whole gimmick. Yeah, so that was fun. And then we also had a mock trial team where we competed against other teams from other high schools around the city. And for that one, for the finals, we got to go down to the actual courthouse in Duval County and like do our final thing or whatever at a courthouse in front of a real judge, like a real
That's
local
awesome.
judge.
That's
Yeah.
And
cool.
who like judged the whole thing. So like and basically then they had volunteers who were like the jury who kind of decided who brought the better case or whatever. So
Right.
And one of the pictures I sent you, Jordan, was me in the suit. That was like the suit I wore for the
Here.
the mock
bring it up.
trial team. Yeah. So
Put
little
that up.
Picture here?
17-year-old
There you go.
Look
Fez,
stylish.
like
Yep.
a lawyer. Yeah. And there was a guy at the entrance of our school who was like just one of the teachers who just kind of watched the parking lot while people were coming in or whatever. And every time I come in for these mock trial things, everybody suit like he'd be like, "Boy, you look like a Philadelphia lawyer, looking sharp."
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
that was one of the more highlights of my stuff was all that legal stuff we got to do. But yes, I got to be Judge Howell for a couple of days when we did this mock trial. That was a lot of fun.
So that reminds me, real quick. So one of the coolest things I got to do in high school, I think it was probably like my junior year of high school. We had a thing where basically it was kind of like a medieval theme, basically, and we had to come up with a topic, and we had to present it to kindergartners. We got to go to Eagle Elementary, which is a local Eagle elementary school.
Elementary. Yep.
And we all dressed up. So like me and my buddy, we did a thing where we compared black magic and white magic. Okay. Well, we did this thing for kids. All right. So it was nothing like bad or anything. Well, I remember like getting a legit costume, and I wish I could find a picture. I think I'll try to find a picture later, Jordan, so you can throw it up here. It's pretty cool. At least I thought it was cool looking because like But like I got a legit full costume, the tights, the hat, the jacket, all medieval times. And I think my friend David wore like a black cloak, you know. So I was kind of the white magic side. But we put on this presentation for kids for this kid class, probably several classes. But my buddy brought he brought one of those like kind of like a cooking stove, like a fire, like a camping stove. We put like a little pot on there, and we cooked up little weenies, basically, in barbecue sauce. And we kind of had like smoke and stuff like that, and it looked like it was like magic. And that was like our magic trick. And then we had barbecue weenies for the kids. It was pretty awesome, and they all loved it. It was so much fun. And I kind of played,
And then the end, using our black magic, we summoned several demons from hell that attacked the children and cursed them for all their days.
Shh. That's the thing we leave out, okay?
We left them a Ouija board. We left them a Ouija board on the ground. We let them play around with it for a little while. What's the big deal?
It's a good time. Good time.
It's like white magic. We have Franks and Beans. Black magic. We have demons from hell. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, for me, like I got to kind of whittle down my stories. I got stories for days from high school. I could go on forever, but there's some of these I'll just kind of like gloss over them quick. But like I remember, so like me and Chris, we were friends in high school, but we weren't really best friends. So maybe like the end of senior year, maybe even after high school a little bit. So like we kind of remember like. Well, we always stop and say hi to each other in the hallway. Like you
were just casual acquaintances.
We were casual acquaintances.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time I remember really becoming friends with you is like I remember seeing you at the Republican headquarters thing because my grandpa ran for the I know House of Representatives and the Senate, and I remember going to support him down at the Republican place, which is funny because my grandpa is nowhere near Republican. He just ran as Republican because it's Idaho. So he was like a rhino pretty much. But sorry, Grandpa, I got to call you out. But I always see Chris there kind of like
what a liar
that cause down there. So that was always fun. And then we just ended up kind of connecting over some things, and we ended up hanging out. And now we're just like best friends.
Yeah, I think we literally. So one night it was because I used to go like every year with my mom and dad, like. Go to the governor, like announcement or whatever, because they announced like the governor, they announced local politics, so it was just kind of a thing to do. I remember one night I think you were there, and we just kind of hung out. We drank pop, and like they usually had like a cool spread, like they had like sandwiches, they had like free pop, free like cake, and all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah,
they did down at the DoubleTree Riverside,
and it usually went till like midnight or whatever. So we just kind of hung out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually my grandpa would have a hotel room for all the family, so like he would stay overnight even, but the rest of us we just hung out at his hotel room till midnight or whatever. But so that was always a good time. He was in the like House of Representatives I think for 4 years, and then the Senate for 4 I think is what he did. But yeah, so just some of my stories. So like one thing is that like I always wish that I would have done more extracurricular activities. Like I played on the basketball team for my freshman and sophomore year, but then after that, like, I just wanted to have fun when I was in high school. I didn't want to worry about having to go to practice.
Was it a really white basketball team, Jordan?
Oh yeah.
It was at Brigham Young.
Our school was like 95% white. We had one black kid on the team, and he was obviously the star of the team. All right,
of course, he kicked all your asses.
right. But yeah, so like I was a big basketball fan, but I remember that I would go to like some of these meetings for some of the other like clubs and stuff. Like literally, I'd just go to just meet people and like eat the free cookies they would have at these places. But like I went to like a lacrosse meeting, and like I really wish I would have played lacrosse because I love lacrosse. Like it's so much fun to play, but I never followed through. I went to the initial meeting. I even went for like the like competitive speech team. Remember that like I went to the first meeting, and then ever since then like the speech and debate coach would always come up to me during school. He'd be like, "When are you going to join the debate team?" I'm like, well, for one, I kind of have a stutter, so it doesn't really translate too well for like debate and stuff. But he's like, so like we'll make it work. And I'm like, no, it's not really my thing. And like usually I would just go like hang out with the cute girls that were there. And so like, cause like I was kind of a massive player when I was in high school. Like I'll admit it. Like so like I would just bounce around from girl to girl to girl. Like just like and I would date girls, but like literally when I found another girl that I thought was cute, I would just dump the girl that I was with. Be like, no, I like this girl now. So see you later. And I just just bounce to some other girl.
Hit it and quit it, Anderson.
Yeah, right. Like when high school, and like I really, I kind of feel bad though. Like I was such a huge player, like,
you misogynist pig.
Yeah. Well,
treating women like pieces of meat, Jordan.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
Oh.
What's all it was for me when I was in high school, because I remember that dating this girl, and like she was really cool. I remember for my birthday, she found out who my favorite basketball player was, and like some of my favorite things I was into. She bought me like all these presents. She brought me like 10 different presents. She brought them to school and like had me open them in front of all my friends and everything. And she was really cool, but she was a redhead. And like I had the dumbest reason. I was like,
bro, like you stupid idiot. Redheads are awesome. Yeah. You moron.
Yeah, so like I'm like I was like, this girl's cool.
Dude.
But she's a redhead, and like redheads have the like pasty white skin, and I'm just kind of like, nah, not really for me. So I just moved on. But, like,
if she got you, look, she didn't get you 10 presents. Her parents got you 10 presents, which means her parents were loaded. Which means she was loaded. You should have stayed with her, you idiot.
Yeah, right. And when I broke up with her too, I remember that she was crying in the hallway. Like she started crying, and it's like, well, see you later. I just walked the other way. I'm like, okay, bye.
You're a dick.
You're straight like hardcore. You're just like, nope.
You know, there used to be, those news shows where they do like those segments where it's like those shame on you segments. I'm going to sing you a jingle, Jordan. Shame, shame on you.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, like, I
breaking girls' hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Anderson, the local high school, breaking girls' hearts for the last 4 years. We investigate tonight on Channel 9.
What stud? Meow.
Yeah.
There's a predator in our midst or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Because like, like I just go around and just make out with all these random girls, like just like constantly, like so, like I was the one that actually. So I invented this thing that was called the dugout. So like, especially during.
This doesn't sound good.
All games.
This doesn't sound good at all, dude.
Yeah.
No, you might want to stop right now before you admit to something. Stop. Is there a statute of limitations in Provo, Utah, or Idaho, or wherever the hell you are right now?
Well, the good thing I was a virgin all through high school. Like, just making out. I didn't go any further than that because I had my innocence. But
Jesus is watching you and judging you, Jordan.
Yeah. Especially during football games. Like, so I'd go to all the football games, and I would find girls I thought were like super cute, and I'd bring them out to the dugout, and that was the makeout spot. We'd just make out in the dugout. Wouldn't even watch the game. We'd just go up there. Or like we'd skip class. I don't know how many times did I skip class. I just brought random girls out to the dugout, and we'd just be making out in the dugout. Like it happened all the time. And then like I would even so speaking of like extracurricular activities, I would go to like different sports. So like I would I'd show up to all the tennis practices just because like I knew 2 or 3 of the girls on the team. They're like, you should come. Like they might even let you join the team. But in my mind, I'm just like, I don't care. I just want to come and like meet all the cute girls. And like I ended up making out with a bunch of them. Like it actually happened. So
man, Jordan must really like baseball. Yeah. He's always going to that baseball dugout. It's so weird.
Yeah, right.
Like, he just likes he just loves America's pastime. He's a big fan.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, like, I actually tried out for the baseball team, but like that didn't have anything to do with making out or anything. That was just like, I thought I wanted to play baseball, but then I realized how high the competition is because we had a baseball team that literally won state every single year, and so they were like really good. So I was just like, yeah, I haven't played it all my life. I'm not good enough. But I tried out though, at least for that. That was the one other sport, but yeah, but. Like I would skip
Jordan,
class.
Despite hanging out in the dugout, Jordan still only ever made it to first base. Just with quantity over quality.
Yeah. Segue.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is though, like my wife now, so like she she's from a different school even, and like she would skip class, come clear out to a totally different school, and we would go to the dugout. But I guess she always says that like she always tried to get me to like do more, to move from like first base to second to third, but I wouldn't do it because I still had my innocence. Like we'd be like, we can go make out, but I'm not going to go any further.
But then you see you would see the Mormon temple in the background, or like Brigham Young University, and you'd be like, I don't know about this. This is weird. I'm in the shadow.
Yeah, right.
The guilt, the Mormon guilt.
Yeah,
the Mormon shame. But
Jesus is watching you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So like speaking of, so Chris mentioned the little carny shack. So like me and my friend Andrew, we actually worked in the carny shack. They approached us to see if we wanted to work there, so they gave us free lunch. So like the only reason why we ever worked there is so we could get free food. But there's like burgers, chicken strips, fries, like funnel cakes, like all the legit stuff you'd find at like a fair. So during the lunch hour, and they would even pay us to work there. So we got money for it and free food.
Had like a state fair in your backyard of like the high school.
Yeah,
like, what the hell's going on?
Yes,
dude? In Idaho,
it was crazy. Yeah, so like we had that. But then I started realizing, it's like, this is my lunch hour. I want to hang out with my friend. I never get to see anyone. I'm just working like all throughout lunch. So I just quit. I'm like, no, I want to hang out with my friend, because when I was in high school, like I won't ever say that I was popular, but I wasn't ever someone who like really got like picked on or anything. Like I was just one of those guys that like bounced around from like group to group to group. Like I was friends with the popular kids, but I was friends with like the people that like got picked on. I was friends with the people in between. So I just bounce around to all these different groups. But like one of the cool things is, so my friend Shay, Chris knows Shay. We've been friends since like middle school, and so like she's the one that like was both a good influence and a bad influence on me, because she's the one that got me to start skipping class all the time. Like I skipped class so many times, and like we had a seminary building out behind our church, which was like for all the like seminary classes for the LDS kids. And we had our own building out back where we would meet, and so like we would skip class. We just go out there and just hang out with like all the teachers out there. So we did that, but at the same time, like Shay was the one that she would always advocate for all the kids that always got picked on, or like all the people that like looked like they're just like spending lunch alone. They didn't really have any friends. So we'd always go up to them and be like, hey, you want to come hang out with us? Well, come be part of our group. And like we try to reach out to them to do something nice. And like sometimes they actually would come like hang out with us, but like sometimes they thought we were just taunting them or like trying to pick on them more. They're like, no, I'm not going to eat with you. No. We're like, okay, we're just offering. We're trying to.
That's
we're like,
how I
trying
started
to be nice.
Hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, right.
Dude, so hey,
you might have been one of the ones that we went up to.
Because I was part of your group and I would skip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like one of my favorite like stories from like skipping class. So I skipped class with my buddy Mark and
one of my favorite stories about skipping class constantly was this one particular time out of the 50th time I did it.
Yeah, so like we skipped with my buddy Mark, who's been on the channel before. Then my friend Dustin, he was a crazy guy. He's the guy that like you always have that like one friend in every friend group. It's like the first person to like try everything. So like if you're gonna go and like jump off some like cliffs into like a lake or like something, he'd be the first one to always jump off and like test the waters and everything. He'd be the kind of daredevil of the group. So like he had this Jeep this Jeep Grand Cherokee that was like from like the like late 90s, and we'd always go out after it would rain, and we'd like hit all like the mud spots, and we'd like spin around and do cookies and like go up hills. So we skipped class to go out mudding in his Jeep, and like we just came back to school like before school was even over, and we had the whole entire Jeep just caked in like an inch of mud. so that was fun. So we did that. And I remember too that so like my friend Shay and then my friend Mark, they're married now, and I kind of was the one that ended up setting them up together. And like I remember Shay got so mad at me and Mark for skipping class, which like she skipped class all the time. She's one of the main people that skip class, but I remember she just got pissed at us like for whatever reason. But yeah. So there was that. Oh, so I got a little story about getting kicked out of my art class. Like like permanently.
So you were like a shit student, Jordan. Like this is what I'm hearing. You were like a garbage high school student who just went around making out with every girl, a different girl every day, skipping class, going mudding, hanging out, occasionally working at the carny shack, not really doing any schoolwork. No wonder you're such a slacker right now. You slacker.
But the funny thing is, though, I ended up overall with a 3.0 GPA, so at least a B average.
How the hell did that happen?
Seriously? What?
Yeah.
You ended up with 3.0. How?
It was because my senior year I actually cared to actually try and actually like go to class. So actually ended up getting straight A's my senior year, but it's the only year that I got straight A's across the board. Every other year I just slacked off. So like that really kind of like bumped it up.
Were you making out with the teachers? What the hell are you doing?
No, not
hey
quite.
guys.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
So I gotta go. Okay, I was trying to find a nice segue. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Guys, this has been fun for episode 3. Guys, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah,
Peace.
later, man.
Later,
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good work shift. But yeah, so like I actually tried my senior year, and like I still kind of got into some shenanigans. The making out kept going. I'll tell you that. But
it never stops.
Yeah, right. but like let's see. But yeah, so the story about getting kicked out of my art class. So like I was in art class. I remember that I was sick one day, so I didn't come to school for just one day. I was legitimately sick, and so I came back to class, and then I asked my art teacher if I could just like quietly talk to someone in the back about whatever schoolwork that I missed from the day before, if they could kind of tell me about it. And he said, yeah, that's fine, no problem. So I start talking to him to find out what the assignment was that I missed, and then he's like, "Excuse me, Jordan, like there's no talking in class," and I'm like, "But you just said that I could." Like talk to him to get this information. He's like, I said that there's no talking in a class. You need to shut your mouth because you need to be working on today's assignment. And so it wasn't like we were really doing anything. Like we're just quietly working on whatever the current day's project was. And so like not like the teacher was like up in the front of the class doing anything. He was just like in the back at his desk. And so I'm just like, screw this guy. Like he just said that I could do this, so I'm gonna do it. So I'm just like, whatever. And I just kept talking to him, and then so he like did like the whole thing that like teachers do. So then like, all right, you need to move desks and come sit over on this desk. So you keep talking to the person next to me, and like I'm someone who always hates authority. Like I don't respond well to like teachers, like principals, cops, like really strict parents, anything like that. Like I always have rebelled my whole entire life. So I was just like no, like screw you, like I'm not moving. You're not going to treat me like a child, no. And then he's like you can step outside, and I'll come out and deal with you in a minute. And he's like, you better be there when I get out there, because I'll be able to talk to you in about 5 minutes. And where I lived just down the road from my high school. I was within walking distance. So I just walked out the door, and I kept walking. I walked out the front door and went home. So I'm just like, screw this guy. Like I'm not waiting for him. So then the next day I come back to school, and like someone comes and like tells me, so yeah, I just got a note from the vice principal, like he wants to see you because you walked out of art class and went home or whatever. So I went to the vice principal, and they wanted me to do like in-school suspension for like all the kids that like all the troublemakers. So like we just sit and like clean the cafeteria all day long, and or like sit and just do whatever they tell us to do during school. But I'm just like, screw that. Like I'm not going to in-school suspension. I didn't do anything wrong. Like he said that I could talk to this guy about the assignment, so I did, and then he overreacted. So like I'm not like, no, like I'm not going to. So I didn't go. I just like skipped the in-school suspension. So then they legitimately kicked me out of the class. Instead of art class, they put me in like a study hall. So like every period instead of that class, I had to go to the study hall for like all the troubled kids that have gotten kicked out of class, and we just like just use it as like extra time to study. But I lost credit for the class though for doing that. So like I literally didn't even get any credit for that class. So yeah, It's like kind of one of my like run-ins with like authoritative figures, you know, like it's.
Have you ever been to jail, like legit, or like
No,
you know? No, okay,
I've been to jail.
It's amazing. Okay, not yet.
At least not for that. No,
No, yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, but like I'm trying to think if there's really much else. So like really like the only other thing. Oh yeah, so like I once made my band teacher cry in the middle of class. So I so I was also a band nerd. I played the trumpet in high school, and so remember we were in band class. And I kept making this like tapping noise with my foot against the chair while everyone was trying to like play music, and I was doing it super loud, but I'd only do it right as the music started. Right when the music started, I started tapping really loud. So he would stop and be like, whoa, like somebody's tapping. What's going on? What's that like tapping sound? He cut it out and like and then we just started playing, and I started tapping again, and like there goes the tapping again. And then like he's like, we stopped. He's like, all right, well, who's doing that? Like, you need to confess because this needs to stop. Like, you're gonna drive me crazy doing that. And again, like, we didn't say anything. We start playing. I start tapping again, and like he's getting pissed. He's just getting more and more upset. Like to the point where like it happened 4 or 5 times, and he kept stopping over and over again and getting mad, and like to the point where like he's starting to yell, and he's like the first time they started yelling, he's like whoever's doing that tapping sound, if you keep doing it, we're just gonna cancel class. We're not even gonna play anymore. But then I'm like ooh, like this is getting good. Let's see how far this thing goes if he actually does it. Jesus. So the tapping keeps going, and then like he just had so like he like stopped. He had his little like baton that he was directing with, and just throws it up in the air. He's like, you guys don't even give a shit. And then he just like sits down on the podium and he starts crying. Like he's just crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I made my teacher cry. Like it was bad. Like he was just so upset. It's just crazy.
So this episode should be entitled "High School Jordan Was a Dick." And that's the moral of the story. Yeah. Yep. You probably wouldn't want to know Jordan in high school. He's a completely different person now, hopefully.
Yeah, right. Yes.
20 years later.
A completely different person now. Yeah,
right.
And probably a story for another time, but like during I'll just give you just a little preview though. But like during my high school days, we did a lot of toilet papering. Like me and my friend, we went toilet papering so much that like we actually had a little gang.
It just gets worse. All these people just minding their own business, like trying to do their jobs, trying to live their lives. And here comes old Jordan Anderson with his short attention span, just fucking with people's lives left and right.
Yep, right. So
what a dick.
Yeah, so like we would toilet paper so many times that like we probably went out like 50 or 60 times to go toilet papering. We did it a lot. Like we would go around the construction sites. We would hit all the porta potties. We'd steal the toilet paper out of the porta potty. So we're like, man, we feel bad for the construction workers. And they come in the next day and they have no TP.
Dude, they gotta have TP. They're eating out of those roach coaches, man. Like they're eating that garbage food out of those food trucks, and then they come along. They gotta take a dump it's bad enough they gotta take a dump at a porta potty, and then you guys throw out their toilet paper.
Yep. Yeah. So like we really like seriously hit like 20 porta potties every time and just steal it out of there. So, but yeah. So there's some crazy stories though. Like we didn't just use toilet paper. We used a lot of other things, and I'll just kind of tease it there. That'll be a story for another time. But yeah. So, but here's a kind of interesting question relating to high school. Did you ever go to any dances when you're in high school? Did you go to like prom or anything?
I didn't go to a lot of dances because I was like way shy when it came to that stuff. I remember there was a girl who asked me to homecoming one time, but then it was awkward because then when she got there, she didn't hang out with me at all.
Really?
She asked me to homecoming like in the middle of class just randomly. She's like, "Oh, you're so nice. Will you go to homecoming with me?" And I was like, okay, sure, fine. But it was one of those things where we just had to like meet there. But then we like met there, we like hugged, and then she wouldn't just hang out with her friends the whole night, and I just had to go hang out with like my friends. It was just like a really awkward night because I was like, technically I had like a date to homecoming, but then it wasn't really a date to homecoming, so that was odd. And then I didn't go to my prom. Like I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable going to like dances and stuff, man. Like it was always just awkward because I didn't want to dance. Like I was a bad dancer, and then like I was always just kind of a wallflower anyways. Like it was just awkward social situations. I didn't go on that many dates in high school. So like I was like the complete opposite of you. Like I just kept to myself and like, I didn't do anything like super crazy. Like I was pretty well liked. I didn't go around sexually assaulting women, like it was all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm kidding, by the way.
Yeah.
But, like making it on the dugout, but I'm making an exaggeration. I was kind of a shy dude unless I knew, I wasn't shy around like my group of friends, but I was kind of shy overall. Like I'm way different now. Like I'm very like outspoken. I talk a lot, like whatever. But back in the day, like 20 years ago, man, it wasn't really the case, man. So yeah, I didn't go to a lot of dances or anything like that.
Yeah, for me, I went to like half of them. I didn't go to all of them because like when I first started out, I was just like no, the dances are overrated. They're just stupid. I don't really want to go. I'd rather just like get a bunch of friends together and go like party somewhere. But like the crazy thing is, so like our school was like known like in the valley for being the big drinking school. Like there were people that would drink so much they would like bring water bottles to school filled with like vodka and stuff, and they'd be drinking during class and like thing, and like but they just like try to pass it off as water. And so like I remember there's this girl I went to church with. They literally like she got like alcohol poisoning during school. They had to take her out on a stretcher, and they had to call an ambulance like during school. Like it's crazy. She passed out. So yeah.
Jesus, man, what are all these Mormon parents doing with their kids in this high school? Man, y'all are out of control.
Seriously. And also we're kind of known to be like the rich high school, even though like I was never rich. Like any car that I ever had, like I only had one car during high school, and it was a total beater, a 1987 Honda Accord, just an old beater car. But like there are people that like, I remember one kid, he drove a Dodge Viper to school. There's another kid who drove like an H3 Hummer. Then there was another kid that had some kind of like souped up Corvette, and then they'd have all these rice burner cars where they would like soup up all the like Hondas and like it. And it is around the time the first Fast and Furious movie came out, so like people started getting Mitsubishi Eclipses, and like because of that first movie, and, like trying to soup them up and like do like all the fake little like things that you're putting like a cold air intake and like modifying the like muffler to make it sound really loud when really it's not adding really any horsepower or doing anything, it just sounds loud. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was my high school, but I ended up going to like a couple of dances. Like one of them was actually like one of the funnest days that, from all of high school that I remember. So like it was kind of like a little bit of a crazy story. So like I remember that so like I didn't go to my junior prom because like I was just like whatever, just being kind of dumb about high school and like didn't want to go. But my senior prom. So I remember that I asked this girl who's in one of my classes. I think we had like biology together or something like that. But anyways, like so like I always thought she was like super cute, and like during class we'd always talk, and like I felt like we were pretty friendly. So I asked her out, and I did it in like a super creative way. So like brought all these balloons to school, and then I cut out all these puzzle pieces that like had a little cheesy thing that my parents helped me write some kind of poem about, like, will you go to prom with me, that like rhymed and everything. And I cut up all the pieces and I put them in all these different balloons, and then she had to pop them and like put the puzzle together and like try and figure it all out. So remember that I wanted to make it kind of anonymous because like I didn't want to reveal who was actually asking her. So I had my friend Mark deliver these balloons to her, and then remember that I waited like a week and I wasn't getting any response from her. I'm like, what's going on? And like she hasn't responded. Like well, I'm like, prom's coming up soon, and so I had my buddy Mark go and like talk to her and like see what's going on, like, and then literally she says no, like Like, yeah, I wasn't gonna talk to him. Like, I don't want to go to prom with him. Like, I'd rather just sit and watch TV than go to prom with him. So no, like, I'm not going with him. I'm like, ooh, ouch, like,
ouch.
Like that kind of hurts. Like I was just like, what a biatch. And just like
I had a similar thing happen to me in 8th grade for my middle school like final dance, to where I asked this girl to go to the dance with me. And like she gave me the whole like we should just be friends like thing, but I was like I'm not asking you to marry me. I just want to like look cool when I go into the dance with somebody. Like this somebody, yeah, and you can dance with me one time, and then we can like go our separate ways for the rest of the dance. I just want to like look cool in front of my friends, like going with somebody. You know what I mean? I just want to like walk in with you. You know, like that's it. And then after that, you can do whatever you want.
You still said no.
Like these 8th grade girls, like it's like I wasn't asking her to like be my girlfriend. I just wanted to go to the dance with her. So I look cool. Yeah. Like I was just like these girls back in the day, man. Like I didn't have ill intentions. I just wanted to look cool in front of my buddies. And
yeah, right.
Yeah, you know, silly girls.
Yeah, it's crazy, but like so the second half of that story is that the girl said no to me, and then so I was like, well, she said no, so like I'll just see who's left who hasn't been asked yet to prom. Actually, I found out that the girl I wanted to ask in the first place, I thought she'd already been asked by someone. And I was actually friends with her older brother, and so I was talking to him. And he's like, yeah, Sherilyn hasn't been asked yet. You should totally ask her. She'd love to go. Like, she hasn't been asked yet? Like, that's who I wanted to ask in the first place. And I thought someone already asked her. I'm like, what the heck? So like I went and asked her, and she ended up saying yes. And like I remember that. Like we had the funnest time, like so like we went out to the macaroni grill for dinner, and like I remember for whatever reason, so like since I was friends with her older brother, like he's like all right, but don't be surprised if I show up or like some random point during the dance, so I can keep an eye on you two, you know, like I'm gonna be your guys' chaperone from afar or whatever. And I thought he was just kidding, but like while we're having dinner, it's like she has her back to the window. I'm facing it. And I see him out there, like peering through the window. I'm like, what the frick? Like, there's Robbie. I'm like, what the heck? That's like really weird. But like, he was just doing it to kind of mess with me. But he actually showed up at the restaurant, which is kind of funny. But then, so like, we did that, and we went over to where we were having the dance. We did it in this cool spot downtown. They call it Boise Center on the Grove, where they have like a bunch of conventions, kind of like a big convention center that they have there, and. Did this whole like night in Tokyo theme where like they did like really a legit decorations, like well, they spent a lot of money on it, and they reserved this place in advance because there are a lot of the local high schools having prom on the same day. We even saw like our rival school. I couldn't even get a place, so they had to set up like a huge tent out in front of the place we were at. So they had their prom out in this like big giant kind of circus tent looking thing, and so like we got the good place. They're stuck out in some tent or whatever, and so. But like we're at the dance, and like she was just dancing like crazy, and like she was getting me to dance, kind of breaking me out of my show. And she's like, "Come on, Jordan, gotta dance with me. Come on, let me teach you some dance moves." I'm like, I don't know a lot of dance moves. I like kind of knew how to swing dance a little bit, but like I just kind of like, well, like swing dancing isn't like that cool for a high school dance. I'm kind of like
she's dancing to like the hip hop songs that you're playing, and you're in the background doing the Charleston.
yeah, right. So like I don't know any cool dance moves. She's like, let me teach you. And like she was teaching me all these dance moves all night long. We were just dancing like for 2 hours straight. Like we were like literally like legit tired and out of breath when we were finished. Like we had so much fun, man. Like we were just going crazy, and like we like got a bunch of our friends in there, and like she was getting everyone to dance in this big like group, and we're just having like a blast. So like that was a lot of fun. So like I always tell her like thank you for like an amazing night. That's like one of the nights that I always remember from high school, just having pure fun, and like there's no like shenanigans involved, nothing weird, nothing awkward. We just had like a really, really awesome time. So yeah, that was my one prom experience. But yeah, so like I was gonna ask, so like we can play this game if you want. Like I don't know how well it's gonna go with just two.
Well,
just
you
two
can still
people,
go between
but,
the two of us. I think
know?
if it's the one you were talking about, like you could still go back and forth with just two people. So yeah, it'll work.
Yeah, so like basically this is like part of the Blockbuster game. So like
Well,
you just have these.
I'm gonna put on my game glasses.
Oh, nice. There you go. Right on.
And for anybody listening, like big Elton John, like red sunglasses with sparkles all over.
Yeah, nice. You get a pair of those, but
Yeah.
but if anyone's watching, don't put any answers in the chat. So because
You don't need
you don't want to
to.
be
I
spoiled
got all the.
or anything, but yeah. But anyways, so like basically for the Blockbuster game, so I got this Blockbuster game here. You know, so
I have the same one. It's nice. It looks like a little
Yep.
tape box. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the little tape on the inside too. You got the VHS there, and
They
then
got the little post with the little like logo flag thing you can like put up on the board. Like it's pretty cool.
yeah, I want to break that out here. Hold on real quick. So yep, you got your little sign, your little Blockbuster thing, you know. So
Yeah, I had a Blockbuster right down the road from me
That's
when
it.
I turned 16. I went there like I told a story, but I went there like every week, man. Just like rent like 10
Oh, nice.
movies at a time. That's how I like really got into movies early on.
Yeah, that'll be a little topic for the next episode. We can talk about some of the crazy jobs that we've had before. I used to work at a Hollywood Video, if you remember Hollywood Video.
Oh yeah, I had a Hollywood
yeah.
Video down the street too that unfortunately didn't last as long as the Blockbuster. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so but I haven't looked at these categories yet. So like basically how it's gonna work though, you have random categories, you just go back and forth naming as many movies or like things from whatever category that it gives until someone can't think of anymore.
I can't wear these. It makes everything red, including my screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the whole room is red.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
To pick out a different one, bust out my aviator shades.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
But if I remember right with this game, Jordan, though, if it says like, for instance, I'm just throwing, giving an example. If it says like Tom Cruise movies or something, we go back and forth about Tom Cruise movies, right? Like, we can only name one like of the franchise movies. You can't keep naming like sequels. Like, so if somebody says like Mission Impossible, you can't say Mission Impossible 2. Like that's the only. Then Mission Impossible is like off the table. Like you have to do a completely original movie. Yeah, I think that's the only rule. Something like that.
Franchises. Yeah.
Well, you can do franchises, but you can only do one movie of the franchise. That's it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no multiples in a franchise. So yeah, but yeah. So I'll just break this out and we can do the little timer too if you want to just like go into the timer end, or we just go until someone can't think of.
We'll just go till someone can't think of something within reasonably. We'll just say reasonably 5 to 10 seconds. If you can't think of one, you're out. You know what I mean? Like if it seems like it's like I can look up in the corner of the screen on our little live timer, and if it's been more than like 10 seconds, like you're out or you don't get the point or whatever, something like that. Or just do a rough estimate. Yeah.
So the first category, and you can kind of see the little cards are like shaped like VHS too. It's kind of cool, but the first categories are movies with a giant monster in it. So. That the giant monster. So yeah, you want to go first?
Okay. All right. So I guess the time will start when I say something. So I'll say Godzilla.
All right. I'll say King Kong. If you can.
I'll say Tremors.
Let's see. I'll say the Swamp Thing.
Okay. I'll say Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay. I'll say Cloverfield.
I'll do the movie Monsters, the independent monster film.
Okay. I'll do the movie Colossal.
The Host.
And now I'm like blanking. Yeah, I think I'm out. I can't think of any more.
Okay, he's out. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go to like the first to like 7 points or something like that. We'll keep track here. I'll keep track of my little thing here. So
yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
So I'll do that, and so Pez gets a point for the first one. All right. So Jordan's out on the monsters. All right. So what's the next one? And you're just randomly pulling these out of the stack, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll keep a little notes here. I got a piece of paper.
Okay.
All right.
The next category is The movies where someone goes to jail.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll
All
say
right,
that
so
the winner goes
Oh, no, go
first.
ahead. Oh, winner goes first?
Whoever wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start out and I'll say Ernest goes to jail.
It's an obvious one. Shoot, I don't know as many. I kind of want to say The Hangover. Don't they go to jail in The Hangover? I think. Maybe not. I don't know.
They go to the police
I thought
station,
that-
but they're not actually in jail.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
you're out already. But I'll give you another chance.
guess
I'll give you
so.
a chance to pull. I'll give you 5 more seconds to pull something real quick.
I don't even know if I can even think of anything else. Yeah, I might be out. Shoot, like I can't think of any. Like I don't.
You could have said, I don't know,
why.
the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
Or,
right.
Let's go to prison. Yeah.
But there's like these random movies where like
Yeah.
in random scenes they'll like end up in jail for whatever reason. Like My Cousin Vinny or something like that. You could say
that would count because if a character itself just goes to jail, but there are movies like set in prisons too. You can say like Lock Up, with Stallone or movies that are literally like set in prisons. But for sure. All right. Well, Jordan's having a trouble with his recall so far, so maybe he'll get back into it.
Like I literally could have even said Guardians of the Galaxy because they end up in a jail. And
they end up in a little space jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. True.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as a fire truck comes by.
Yeah.
So the next one is, which is like I don't know how we'd want to classify this one, but movies with gadgets. So maybe like movies with like crazy gadgets or something.
I guess so. Okay.
So I guess you're up again because you won it again.
All right. I'll say Goldfinger.
Right. I'll say Inspector Gadget.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll say Mission Impossible.
Yeah. I'll say The Kingsman.
I'll say Get Smart.
Okay. Shoot. I'll say Austin Powers.
Oh, good one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say Spy Hard, the spoof.
Yeah. The movie Spy count? That one with like
if she has a gadget in that movie, I guess. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I feel like she does.
I'll give it to you. Can I say RoboCop?
Sure, you can say that.
He kind of has gadgets as part of his suit, so I'll say that.
Let's see.
Yeah, gadgets is it's such a broad category. I almost want to strike this category and go to another. It's so broad, like
it is.
Because what counts as a gadget? Does like just some random like wrench count as a gadget? Like if it has like I don't know.
I think it has to be some kind of crazy kind of like out of the like ordinary thing, thing you wouldn't know.
I guess. Yeah. I kind of want to scratch that and go to another category because that one's too broad. That one's really weird.
We could do that one because like honestly, I can only come up with maybe one more. So, we could do that.
Well, because we can't go through the whole franchise because again, I said Goldfinger, so you can't name all 25 Bond movies. Yeah, right. That's like part of the franchise.
Yeah. Well, next one is. This one might be too broad. I don't know if you want to skip it. Movies based on a book. That it could be like too broad.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to do it. We could do it.
Sure, we could do it. Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of them. So.
All right. Do you want to go first to get the first one out?
Sure. I'll just say. I'll say Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay. I'll say Jaws.
All right. I'll say Jurassic Park.
Okay. I'll say The Shawshank Redemption. It's a Stephen King book.
Yeah, true. I'll say The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
All right. I'll say Carrie.
Yeah. I'll say Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
The Shining. I'm just going to go through all of Stephen King's books.
Yeah. Right. And I'll say It then, if we're going with Stephen King.
Sure. I'll say The Running Man.
Is that one based on a book?
Yeah, when he was doing his pseudonym thing, when he wasn't Stephen King.
Okay.
Remember that? When he went under a different name.
Yeah. Let's see. based on a book. Well, let's have these like real obscure ones. I'll say The Host, and it's like an obscure one.
Okay. No, it's a young adult novel, so that counts.
Yeah.
I'll say Twilight.
Yep. That was the next one. That was the next one I was thinking of. I'll say Cujo.
All right. I'll say The Bourne Identity.
Oh yeah, true.
It's a book series.
Yeah. I'll say The Princess Bride.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah. I'll say the Hunt for Red October.
The Client.
Yeah. The Runaway Jury.
The Pelican Brief.
Yeah.
We're going down John Grisham's road.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. The funny thing is, I can't remember a lot of John Grisham books because I'm not.
I got a couple. He's like one of my favorite authors. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's say The Freedom Writers. Do that.
All right. I'll say The Rainmaker.
Yep. I'll say Carrie.
I already said Carrie. You lose.
You said Carrie already? Are you sure?
I said that was the first Stephen King movie I said.
Oh, dang. All right. Well,
rewind the podcast. You'll see.
What's it? All right. Let's go back a little bit here. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just rewind a bit.
Yeah.
Fact check that. No.
All right.
I said Carrie already. You went back to the well one too many times with the Stephen King. Should have moved on to another author.
We should have moved on to like some modern day ones. There's a lot of modern day ones, kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of modern day like YA adaptations and like and then things you wouldn't think are based on a book that are based on a book. There's a lot of like you could have said like Oliver Twist, the movie version of that, or Christmas Carol, like you could say, because those are all based on books and things like that.
Or like some of the like more modern day, like Unbroken or like Eat, Pray, Love. Some of those ones.
Oh yeah, those are all books. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm moving to the next category. So this one could be broad, but we could still do it. Movies with a spy.
We already did kind of spy movies. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
We're already spitting out spies and stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to be retreading the same waters.
Yeah.
We need to get like an actor one. Actor one would be fun.
Well, here's an actor one. Movies with Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Oh boy.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Might not be very long. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So who wants to go first in this one? Does the winner go first again?
Yeah, the winner goes.
All right. I'll say The Hunger Games. So just get the franchise off the table.
I'll just say Silver Linings Playbook.
I'll say Red Sparrow.
Yeah, and I'll say, oh shoot, I can't think of what I'm thinking of. The really weird horror movie she was in. That was like really weird, like almost like a cult movie or something. Weird. I forget what that's even called, but
go to another one. 5 seconds.
Yeah. I can think of like picture her in some, but I can't think of any more. Like
you couldn't think of like X-Men First Class or X-Men Days of Future Past or all those comic book movies you like. Yeah.
I was thinking of
any one of those. Any one of those.
Wasn't she in a movie with Mark Wahlberg? Like one of her first movies she ever did. Like it's one of the first ones she ever did, I thought.
I can't remember.
I'm
kind of blanking on her early stuff. Like weirdly, she was in a movie called Winter's Bone. She was in.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Winter's Bone.
I can't remember the weird horror movie she was in. It's called like The something. Like The Unborn or some shit. I don't know, whatever the hell that movie's called, like some goofy shit.
But she was in like the house at the end of the street or something like that. Something weird.
Yeah, it was like the house at the end of the road or the house at the end of the street or whatever the hell that movie's called. Yeah, they also like Joy. There's
Joy.
Yeah.
Or the one that's like set in the 70s with like Bradley
American
Cooper.
Hustle.
Like, yeah, American Hustle. There's that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few, but yeah, we'll move to the next one. So the next you're at 4, right? I think 4.
Yeah, I'm like 4 to nothing right now. Yeah. Jordan, you gotta get your recall back. You a little sleepy still? Yeah.
We need Chris here. He might do to help jog my memory. but
yeah.
Right. The next category is movies with vampires. So that.
Okay.
So you go first.
So I'll say Interview with a Vampire.
All right. I'll say Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I'll say From Dusk Till Dawn.
I'll go with The Lost Boys.
I'll say John Carpenter's Vampires.
Speaking of the vampire, sorry, just a little side note, but Chris bought that when I was in town with him last time. It was like a whole thing where he left it at my house. But anyways,
All right.
But I'll go with Blade.
I'll go with the original Bela Lugosi Dracula.
All right. I can't remember if it's been said. Van Helsing.
No, we haven't said that yet. You can say that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'll say Dracula AD 1972 with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. It's not part of the same franchise. Completely different franchise.
Yeah. Right. I'll go with Dracula Untold. Love that.
I'll go with Dracula 2000. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Shoot, I don't know if I can think of any more. Shoot, yeah. I'm probably out. I don't know.
Are you out?
I can't think of any more. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. I was trying to think if there was any other besides Blade. Was there ever like any other superhero movies that just had a vampire on the team? I kind of feel like there was.
None that I can really think of. Yeah, I don't. Nothing that comes to my mind. So.
Yeah. All right.
So you're at 5. It might be a clean sweep. We'll see. Hopefully not. But
I'm really good at these types of games, though. I should have warned you. Yeah. I'm pretty good at these. Like when Doug Benson plays like Last Man Standing, I'm pretty good at that kind of shit. So yeah.
Depends on the category, though. But yeah.
Right.
Next one is a movie where there's a race.
Oh, a race.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like a race of people.
No.
All right.
Like racing to get somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll get the obvious one out of the way and just say the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. I'll get the other obvious one. I'll just say Race. The movie Race.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll say Rush, the movie with Thor. What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah, with Chris Hemsworth. I'll say Chariots of Fire.
All right. Oh yeah, foot race, that counts.
Yeah.
I'll say Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah. I'll say Cars.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll say Days of Thunder, the Tom Cruise movie.
I'll say Cool Runnings because at the beginning they're all racers.
Well, technically the Olympics are still a race, so I mean that counts.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, I'll say Biker Boys, that Fast and the Furious motorcycle knockoff. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Biker Boys.
Biker Boys with a Z.
Yeah, right. Oh shoot! Like I know there's a ton more. I'll say Speed Racer.
Okay. There might be a little semantics with this one if there was an actual race, but I'll say Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I can't remember if there was a specific race in there. Yeah, but I don't remember if there was a race. I might be out on that one because maybe I say getting semantics. It might not be an actual race unless you count him like racing the cops. I mean, does racing the cops count?
No, like he's not really racing, kind of running from the cops. Kind of, they're not really racing.
All right. Well, I gave an incorrect answer, so you get the point on that one, Jordan. All right, not a clean sweep because I said a movie that probably doesn't feature an actual race. So
I was gonna say one that I think had the race at the end of it, but would the Justice League count because the race between Flash and Superman?
If you're talking about the Whedon cut of Justice League, yeah, right,
and the Whedon cut, right?
Sure. Yeah. I kept thinking of it's not a movie, but the Seinfeld, the race. You remember when he foot races the other guy?
Yeah, where he like foot races and then blows past the lane at the end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Let's see. The next category is this might be a bit of a broad one, but movies with ghosts.
I guess, although that one could get a little semantical, whether it's like ghosts or demons or whatever. I think we go to a different one. That could get a little debatey. Let's get one that's a little more hardcore.
Yeah, we could go to a different one. This is here you go. movies with one-word titles. You could do that,
okay.
which is
All right.
which like we'll see how long it actually goes, because like I'm not coming up with a
All
lot,
right.
but we'll see.
Okay. All right. I'll
So
say
I guess,
one I said in the other round. Wait, I mean, sorry, you get to go first. You go first. Sorry.
yeah, right. Actually, one around, so I get to go first. Well, I'll say one I said in the other round. And I'll say race.
Okay, I'll say one I said in the other round. I'll say Rush.
Rush. Let's see. Shoot. Well, for some reason all the like weird obscure ones coming to mind, but it is one word. I'll say rollerball. That's one word.
I'll say one y'all were talking about in the episode, Skyfall.
Yeah. So that franchise is out. We can't say like Spectre or anything.
Yeah, you can't say another Bond movie. I already got it.
I'll say Ghostbusters.
I'll say Batman.
Yep. I'll say Superman.
Well, technically that's Superman the movie, Jordan. Excuse me, but
true.
I'll give it. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Though we'll move on. I'll give it to you.
Right.
I'll say Fargo.
I'll say Blade.
All right. I'll say Alien.
Yeah. I'll say Predator.
Okay. I'll say Tremors.
Okay. I'll say Zombieland.
Yeah,
it's one word technically.
I'll talk about that movie I saw the midnight show of, Creature.
Yeah, there you go. Shoot. I keep thinking of like all these movies that have a "the" at the beginning, like "the" something.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that doesn't count.
No. I'll say Heat.
Okay. I'll say Cyrus.
Okay. I'll say Terminator.
It's the Terminator.
Oh, true. Okay.
Get it. I'll give you another chance. Get another one real quick.
I'll say Deadpool then.
Okay. I'll say Frankenstein.
Yeah. I'll say Casablanca.
Oh, that's a good one. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm getting all the those.
Yeah, right.
All right, I took too much time. I'm out. You get the point. I blanked on that one.
All right. Sounds
So you get
good.
the point on that. I could have said Spider-Man. I should have said that. It's right behind you.
We could have, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh well. All
Well,
right.
making a comeback here. We'll see.
Yeah, you're making a comeback. It's 5-2. You're making a comeback.
Yeah, 5-2. This is this one could be kind of easy, but movies by Steven Spielberg. I mean, we could do it.
Oh well, if you can recall our Steven Spielberg episode of Tier Ranker Fights, to throw a plug in there, go see our Steven Spielberg movie. All right. Well, this is easy for me. I can just go in chronological order in my brain.
You could, yeah.
All right, but you got the point, so you get to go first. You can say whatever you want.
I got to bounce around a little bit to make it kind of a little more.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in chronological order.
Like somewhat what tricky for you if you're going in chronological order. So I'll just say Jaws.
I'll say the Sugarland Express.
I'll say E.T.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay. I'll say Jurassic Park.
1941.
Let's see. Shoot, like now I'm like starting to like literally blank on some. I'll say Minority Report.
Okay, there you go. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Let's see. I'll say Always.
All right. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Was that count because you already said Raiders?
It counts because it's still the category is movies directed by Steven Spielberg, and that's a movie directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, so I could say Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I just said Temple of Doom, but you could say Last Crusade.
Oh, yeah. It's like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Yeah.
I don't think the franchises count when it's like literally you're naming the movies that are directed by Steven Spielberg, so that has to count. It is a movie directed by Steven Spielberg. So, yeah. All right. I'll say Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
All right. I'll say Amistad.
All right. I'll say The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I'll say Catch Me If You Can.
I'll say The Color Purple.
Shoot. I'll say Terminal, or The Terminal, whatever.
The Terminal, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say Schindler's List.
Ooh. I'll say Saving Private Ryan.
I'll say AI, Artificial Intelligence.
Ooh. I'll say Ready Player One.
I'll say The Adventures of Tintin.
I'll say The Post.
Okay. I'll say The BFG.
Okay. Bridge of Spies.
I'll say Duel.
Oh shoot. Now I'm starting to kind of blank. There's got to be some of the like early 2000s or late 90s ones. Shoot.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3.
I think I'm out.
2, 1. All right.
I can't.
You forgot Hook.
Hook. Yeah, I gotta say Hook. I know
Yeah.
Ross. Ross. Like Bristow, he's on our show. That's his favorite movie. So if he's watching,
Yeah, I think
we'll
we
invite
actually
that.
did pretty good. We actually named almost all of them. Like we pretty much went through the gamut. So not
Yeah.
bad. So not bad. But
Not
I'm
bad.
up 6-2. So this is a game point.
Okay.
Game point.
For the game.
I'll let you. You know what, Jordan? I'll let you scroll through. You find something you're strong at, just to see if you can get a point. So
All right.
you scroll through the categories. You
Well,
can
this
pick
one.
something. You can pick something.
Well, this one
Since
was
it's
like
game
kind of.
point I made.
It was like kind of a weird category. Anyways, there's movies with a shootout, so I'm gonna skip that. That's kind of
That's too broad. It's too broad. Yeah. We need some of the stuff that's more specific that we can like hammer down. You know.
Let's see.
You need like comic book movies, so you can just name all your top 64.
Yeah. Right. Ooh, actually could do that one probably. Sure, why not? The movie's set during Christmas.
Oh, Christmas movies. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you still go first, I guess, since you.
All right. I'll
You
say
won the last round.
a Christmas Story.
All right. I'll say It's a Wonderful Life.
All right. I'll say White Christmas.
I'll say A Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay. I'll say Die Hard.
Let's see. I'll say Home Alone.
Okay. I'll say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
All right. I don't know if it'd count, but does Lethal Weapon count? Because that's kind of like set.
It's set on Christmas. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll do another Shane Black movie, and I'll say Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is set on Christmas.
I'll say The Santa Claus.
Oh, I was going to say the Santa Claus. I'll say Gremlins.
Oh yeah, true.
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
I'll say Elf.
I'll say The Night Before, the poster you have right behind you.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
I'll say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
All right.
Like claymation.
I'll say The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. I'll say Arthur Christmas.
Oh, that's a good one. There you go. Does Rise of the Guardians count?
I mean, it has the like Santa Claus. In it, so,
is it set on Christmas? I don't remember.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Why not? I guess.
I think kind of it is. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll say Scrooged.
Oh, that's right. I missed an obvious one. Jingle All the Way.
Yeah. I think of all my go-to movies during Christmas time.
I know, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. I'll say Four Christmases.
There you go. Yeah. I'll say Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh man, I literally just about to say that one. I'll say Surviving Christmas.
I'll say we're naming all the shitty ones now. I'll say Deck the Halls.
Yeah, right.
Deck the Halls.
Christmas. Will the Krampus count?
Krampus would count, I think. Yeah. Krampus. Yeah, that one with Adam Scott. Yeah.
I'll say that.
I will say I'm pretty sure it's another Shane Black movie set around Christmas. I'll say The Nice Guys because I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll fact check that one afterwards. If I'm wrong, I'll give you the point. Is that fair enough?
Okay. Sure.
All right.
You can do that. I'll say Black Christmas.
Oh, there you go. I missed that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you got me in the horror realm, so I'll say Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. There you go. Or like what about Santa Claus? Like CLAWS.
Right? Yeah. I'll say the movie featuring Goldberg, Santa's Sleigh, SLAY.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Santa's Sleigh. Yeah. Let's see. Christmas one. No, there's definitely some. Oh shoot. Am I gonna blank? Let's see.
All right, I'm gonna call it, but I'll tell you what. I'll decide who gets the point.
Okay.
I'm gonna fact check The Nice Guys. I'm gonna fact check myself. I'm not gonna just give myself that. I'm gonna see if it's actually set at Christmas. Hang on.
There's way more. There's like some of those other claymation ones. I don't know if that'd be considered still in the series, like Santa Claus is Coming to Town or the little drummer boy.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's one from Uprocks. This is The Rundown. Merry Christmas. Let's watch The Nice Guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice Guys is a Christmas movie, is what this article says. It's one of the many movies set at Christmas. So yes, I was correct.
It's kind of interesting because I watched the movie fairly recently, but I don't remember much about Christmas.
It's always with Shane Black. It's always in the background. It's not like a primary plot element, but it's always set around Christmas. Like he has like an obsession with setting stuff around Christmas time. Kind of like Lethal Weapon's not really like it's not in the forefront, but it's there. You know?
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess you're the winner then. 7-2.
That's the winner. yeah, that was a good Christmas one. That was close because I was running out until you said Krampus, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a couple of horror movies I could say.
Right.
or Black Christmas. I was like, fuck. Oh yeah, Silent Night. I was like, sure, but I'm sure we missed a couple. But yeah, good job. Good job.
Yeah, but I should have said like Fred Claus or like I'm trying to think of some of those.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh fucking Bad Santa. We're an idiot.
Yeah, Bad Santa.
Goddamn Bad Santa. Fuck me, dude. That's so obvious. Oh yeah, two kind of more obvious ones there. Damn, we missed. Yeah, that's what happens.
But anyways, this has been a fun time. So but next time I'll just give a little tease. We'll probably talk about some jobs that we've had because I've had 1,000,001 jobs. Like probably I'll just have to go through a list and then maybe touch on like 2 or 3. But like just like list all the places.
See, I've only had a couple though. If you count some of my wrestling stories as one though, I could dive into that. But yeah.
That'd be a good one to dive into some of that. And but like for me, I've worked at like 20 places. I've worked everywhere. but yeah, and then probably like we'll probably talk about like some of our favorite vacations we've ever taken before. We can get into that a little bit. We can even talk about some of our best and worst dates that we've ever been on, and then maybe even like if we have any advice you want to give the listeners, kind of like or like some of the favorite advice we've received over the years. That's just kind of a little tease to some upcoming topics we'll maybe touch on a little bit, but you never know with this show. We just kind of go where the conversation takes us. Sometimes it may take us off on a tangent somewhere, So yeah, that's the fun of just doing a podcast. We just let the conversation flow. So
yep,
but
absolutely.
But yeah, but it's been fun. So you want to tell us where we can find you? I mean, I know it's just pretty much here, but I mean, like
it's pretty much here on the Movie Hero channel. Yeah, anybody watching this, you're probably familiar. But we are doing as of this right now, and it'll probably be up on the channel. We have already done it by the time some of y'all watch this. But yeah, we're doing new tier ranker fights about 2010's comedies, 2010 to now. So that should be interesting. I'm sure Jordan is a little more familiar with some of the people we got. I got Mara Moses and Paige Fabretti and the Boston Badass, a couple other people on that show.
Yeah,
so that should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Peggy Gubbins, some people we've had before and a couple of new people, kind of how it's been going. We always have a couple of people kind of returning guests and always a few new guests here and there. So that should be fun. We just recorded on Sunday. We just did our first Seinfeld show. Hello from Movie Hero. So if you guys are big Seinfeld fans, check out that. It's up on the channel right now on the Movie Hero channel. And we've got a tournament fights this week all about game shows. So some of our favorite game shows, we're going to throw them all in a 64 bracket, and Jordan and I are going to hash out the final list for that probably in a few minutes after we go off the air and try to get ready for that one. So that should be a lot of fun.
Well, like the crazy thing is, like I was going through all these game shows, and like there's way more game shows than I would have thought. Like we could literally do 2 tournaments of 64 just on like game shows and have completely different game shows. So we really got to be pretty picky on it. So like what?
Well, and I feel like we could almost do one of game shows that didn't last beyond like a season. You know, like the weird ones. Because there's a whole lot of these ones that like are crazy concepts, but they didn't last beyond like 4 or 5 episodes. You know, like they're kind of nutty. You know, when you look into them. But yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have some of the old classics on there, and we'll have some of the newer stuff, and like we say, some of these weird kind of obscure ones that may have only lasted a little while that you can watch on YouTube. All kinds of stuff. So it should be a fun little mix of things.
And there's some of those like classic and like kind of like obscure games that didn't last very long. That like I really wish would have lasted longer, because I'll see clips. I'll be like that's freaking awesome. Why didn't that last? But it's like ratings or whatever the network decides, you know. So
yeah. Most of them were on Fox for whatever reason.
Yep, right. Yeah, there's a lot of weird ones from the
stupid Fox shows back in like the early 2000s, dude. Fox in the early 2000s was just a madhouse, dude. They would put anything on the air. I mean, because that was the time they were doing like Temptation Island and Joe Millionaire and all those weird shows. Like Fox was just the Wild Wild West in like 2000, like 2005, dude. Like Fox was crazy.
Yeah. So, and then probably coming up next week, we're going to be doing a tournament fights with our other co-host Chris Scott's favorite movie. So that could be literally anything. We'll see what he comes up with for us. So that should be fun, just because like the sheer kind of off the wall things he's probably
I'm so excited for that. Like my anticipation level's off the charts, more just to see again each bracket what the hell is on that damn list. I do not know. So I'm just gonna be, I mean, again, we figured out a few, you know, Casablanca, maybe a Shawshank, something like that, but like other than that, I don't know, dude. I have no idea. So it could be anything.
Yeah, we're gonna make it like a total complete surprise, because like for some of these shows we'll kind of send out some lists so we can get a little preview, but like for this is gonna be a total surprise. So as we kind of move down, like through all the matchups, we'll be like next up it's some crazy off the wall movie versus this one, or like whatever it is, you know.
That's what's fun about tournament fights, man, is we can put anything in there and you never know what'll happen. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'm sure even Jordan, when he gets the list from Chris to set up the bracket, he'll be like, "What? Like, man, this is nuts!"
Yeah,
like I'm sure he'll be all over the place. But
what am I looking at here?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what am I doing? But yeah, that should be fun. And don't we have we've got a baseball movie tier ranker fights next week too, right? Next Wednesday, I think. So we'll be gearing up for that one. So that should be fun too. Yeah, start a sports series.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of be going through like probably one a month. We'll be covering a different sport. So we'll start with baseball, then maybe move into like basketball, football, and then maybe kind of do like some kind of like what kind of alternative sports you could say, like.
Well, I was gonna break it down. I was thinking about how to break it down, and I definitely think we can do a combat sports one covering boxing and wrestling and MMA, things like that. Cover all that under kind of a combat sports, and then for the other ones, because we want to talk about stuff like Mighty Ducks or Cool Runnings and things like that. So I thought about winter sports. So, and we could cover a lot of stuff, because you could put figure skating in there. You could put hockey. You could put, anything that kind of takes place during the winter. And there's plenty of those too. So we could do kind of a cold sports or a wintry sports kind of thing, and cover all the ones we couldn't sport. And then, and we can even do, if there's other ones, we can just do a best of the rest, whatever other crazy sports movies don't fit any of those categories. We can figure it out.
Right. Or even like a summertime sport. We could have like like all the track and field and like type movies. We do like racing. We could do surfing. We could do like a bunch of those other.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sports.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do like summer sports and winter sports and things like that, and we'll cover all the different stuff that doesn't fall into those specific categories. So we'll have fun with that. We'll go through our little sports series and get to everything.
Yeah, because like, well, nowadays, kind of like tournament fights, they're kind of becoming more of the ones that are kind of for like just for fun, kind of off the wall, kind of anything can happen kind of show. And then the tier ranker fights, kind of more becoming more for like different series that like in like different genres. We can have like different decades of like horror movie, different decades of comedy, sports, all these different things. So, but yeah, so like it's been fun, kind of having two shows that are like kind of the same, but like also kind of totally different, you know.
But they're also kind of different because, like we said, things that don't really fall into like a tier ranker fights. Like I was talking with you about the game show thing. It's like we talked about this. If we did game shows in a tier ranker, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'd have pretty much the same top 10 that every other list on the planet has for the S tier. You know, you'd have your Prices Right, your Jeopardy, you know, things like that. So it wouldn't be that much fun. But if you put them in a tournament fight where they're going up against, you know, all these other crazy game shows that are out there, you know, you never know what can happen. So that's why it's a little more fun as far as that goes.
Sorry, I'm messing with some technical stuff. So sorry, I just threw up the little horror thing because.
All right, so Jordan, best of the '80s. Let's go. My favorite movies. I'm talking about favorite movies. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the Fly, right. The Mummy. Okay. Now we're back to the podcast.
Yeah. We use a little outro kind of stinger, but I just realized I don't have it uploaded for the podcast. So we'll just say goodbye here. This will be the be the end of it, and and we're gonna try to do one once a week if we can, but it just kind of depends on our schedule. So we'll definitely let you guys know,
we talked about, it's 3 crazy personalities in 3 different time zones with 3 different jobs. So it's hard to match up our schedules sometimes to all get together and do this podcast. So we're trying to do the best we can as far as scheduling, and then of course we all need to be on the Chris's tournament fight, so that may have to substitute for the podcast next week. We'll see, depending on how the scheduling works out, but we'll try. We try to crank these out as much as we can, I promise. We're always trying to coordinate our schedules.
Yeah, and also want to give a little shout out to we have an official Twitter page for the channel, the Movie Hero Network, and then we also have an Instagram page. So you can find us there. So we'll definitely post all of our announcements there. And then we're going to have an unofficial Facebook group that's the Schwinn on Friends and Family group that we always post all the information there. So if you're ever wondering when the show is, because we don't always do it on like a set schedule, you can always check those out, and that'll give you all the information of what's going on. And usually,
like and subscribe the YouTube page too. Give us a like and subscribe on the videos, please. We'd really enjoy that.
Yeah, it definitely helps too. Yeah. And if you hit the little bell too, you'll just be notified of when
we go live,
whenever we decide to go live, and sometimes we'll try and post in advance, give you a little heads up, but a lot of times we just post the day of, so you'll kind of have to just keep an eye out on all of our social media, but it's definitely out there. So whenever you see it, just like tune in like soon after, or look for when we're gonna go live. We always post what the exact day and time is, so you can see it there. But yeah, it's been a fun time. So for Austin Pez Howell with his crazy Elton John glasses, and I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you guys next time.